School, $FDMG School on your Cash App. 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 If you need to mail in your donation, make it payable to the FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634. P.O. Box 9634. P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. That is Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. We appreciate $1, but we would rather have 10. We appreciate $20, but we would rather have 50. We appreciate $50, but we would rather have 100. We appreciate $100, but we would rather have 200. We're trying to renovate a school, brothers and sisters. We're trying to renovate a school. We're not fixing a flat tire. We're not fixing a flat tire. We're not opening up a penny candy shop. We're not selling water ices, okay? We're not selling hot dogs. We're renovating a school. Do you understand? Do you understand? So please, brothers and sisters, give what you can. We're building an institution, okay? Trying to give our children a chance that we didn't have. That's what we're doing. I don't have to pin it because I done already told you what it is. Don't be lazy. $FDMG School. Don't be lazy. $FDMG School. Before I continue with my message, thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
All right, Cook Fresh Chat. Thank you guys so much for your patience here. Technical difficulties. Let me know how my audio is. We're going to do what we do. Cook Fresh Chat's undefeated as always. Let's go.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming.
Hold on. Yeah. Nah, I got this. I got this.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's 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 coming. Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
Thank you guys again for your patience. I know it's been a while, but we're back on the block. Welcome everyone inside the Cook Fresh Chat. Hope you guys have been doing all right. Just before we get into it, it's just a little bit of house cleaning, as it were. I had to take a break, and I was going to take a couple of days. That turned into a week. That week turned into 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks turned into 3 weeks, and it's been close to a month. But sometimes we have to take some time. And it was more for myself than anything else. I had a lot of family stuff going on too. So I can't say I want to apologize. I just want to say that I appreciate your understanding. Okay? Every once in a while, I got to take me a bit of a break. Umar's been on a bit of a break too until today. So that's why we're back here today to cover this and to see where all of this goes. He hasn't done anything. I think he deleted the last live he did. He actually took it down because we went in on him. That's when he's telling the story about the city of Wilmington. City of Wilmington was trying to sabotage him. How's my audio too? Y'all let me know inside the chat room. I got another computer. I'm not using that now, but I changed all these settings and stuff. I got a beast over here. I've been spending the last maybe 5-6 days getting it all up and running the way that I needed to run, because it'll be taking everything to the next level. You guys will see what I mean probably within the next 2 months. So I've had to adjust things on this computer as I'm transferring stuff over and putting all this other stuff. So let me know how the audio is. If the audio is good, then that'd be great. The video looks okay. Getting back to Umar. Okay, you good? Okay, cool. Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I had to take some time. I had to take some time. Last month, I uploaded something every single day. If it wasn't a live stream, I uploaded a video, and it took a lot out of me. It did. It took a lot out of me, but it was punitive, and many guys know why. With Umar acting up, and it happened to be by far the best month I've had on YouTube. Getting into this month though, I was tired, and then I had other stuff going on. I said, let me take a couple of days. That turned into a week, turned into 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and now it's almost close to a month. But I'm good. Okay. Hey, how's it going today? How's it going? Thank you for tuning on in. I'll do my best to give shout outs to people too. Everyone in Cookcraft, I love y'all. I miss y'all. And the first, I ain't gonna lie, the first couple of days I was having withdrawal symptoms. I ain't gonna lie. I kid you not. I was telling myself, I said, just get through the week. If you can get through this week, then you might be okay. The next week rolled around, I was feeling a little bit more functional. I was sitting up here like, am I gonna live stream? I ain't gonna lie about it. But I got through it. Okay, we back. Okay. Anyway, Umar, he deleted that one video where he was talking about how the city of Wilmington, they were conspiring against him to sabotage. He was putting names out there. He took that video down, but I downloaded it. We covered that. And then Umar disappears. I think he's been gone now, because that was another thing. I said, okay, if he's going to be gone, that'll give me some time to kind of not live stream for a while. So it had to have been at least 3 weeks, maybe 3.5 weeks of him not being online. And I was wondering what was going on. There is a poll question too. When you guys have some time, make sure you vote on that poll question. I think that there's more going on with Umar than meets the eye. There always is, but I think right now is an important time in this Umar Johnson. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, Umar. I've tried my best over these years to give you my best advice, not as a friend, okay, but I ain't gonna say a brother, as a fellow black man. I tried my best, and you guys know this. I've told Umar many times what he needs to do to get things in his life turned around. And I'm one of those individuals who took the bull by the horn years ago and got my life turned back around. And if I can do it with a wife and 5 kids and a job, I went to school while I was working my job. I picked up a degree, and then also doing YouTube part-time. Umar has no excuse because he don't take care of no kids. His kids, it's not like he's married. He's living off his mama, you see. So I've tried my best to give him the best advice that I could give. I know I clown him too, but that's just that's the entertainment value. Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I remember months ago, there's a fly in here. Months ago, I told y'all, I said, now that Umar's Cash App is shut down, we're gonna see. Didn't I say that? Hit the 1. I said, but it's not going to be immediate, because Umar, he doesn't realize he's not a forward thinker. He doesn't think in advance. Like it's not like he says, okay, if I don't do this, this is going to happen. Or if I do this, this is going to happen. He don't think like that. See, so he didn't realize what was coming down the pike. That Cash App got shut down. I said, you guys give it about 2 months or 3 months, and then you're all going to see. And just like clockwork, we get into that 2-month period, into that 3-month period, and everything starts to fall apart. Well, I want people to understand that has not stopped. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse for Umar. I think that there are also things that are limiting him right now in terms of what he can do. He can't be traveling all over the place because there's too much attention on his living arrangement with his mama. He's not supposed to be living there. How is it that Umar has raised a bare minimum of $1.6 million with a nonprofit, and then he's living off his mama, and his mama's in Section 8 housing? How does that work in the real world? I'm not talking about fantasy land, ghetto-centric type of. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about in the real world. How does that work? He's supposed to be the primary caretaker, but he's traveling. You notice his schedule. See? He's limited right now. I have a sense that they're checking up on him to make sure that he's doing what he says that he's supposed to be doing. I also have a sense that he can't be there as much as, I'm talking about the mama house, mama closet. He can't be there as much as he used to because he's not on that lease. Section 8 already got the documents on all of that. He's not on that. So Umar is very limited. And so you got that going on, the Cash App gets shut down, And then on top of that, everything that's happened this year, let's go back real quick. The beginning of the year, his daughter comes out and exposes him as a deadbeat. He goes in on her. He goes in on one of his baby mama. He goes in on his other baby mama. Y'all remember all that? That's a domino, one domino that falls. Okay. And then what we find throughout this year so far is one domino leads to the next. Lene comes out, spills the beans. Another domino falls. See? Marianne comes out, spills the beans. Another domino falls. Then he gets the munition, and it was possible, at least about a month and a half ago, that these buildings were going to be taken from Umar at an auction sale. That's another domino because he wasn't paying the bills. I got a video today. Oh my goodness, I should play it for you guys just to show you guys how none of this is new. Umar, he's known about those bills. He had excuses why he wasn't paying them bills back in 2021. Do I need to pull it up? I believe it was 2021. And it was 2019. My goodness gracious. If y'all want me to pull it up, hit the one. We got a bit to get into. I think I'm going to take off tomorrow and live stream again. So that was another domino that fell. And then Umar concocts his whole story about how his remember he preempted this, like, man, my bank accounts, Lene got my bank account information. That's because he didn't have no money. So he was setting it up in advance because he wanted to come have an excuse already laid out as to why he didn't pay these bills and all this other stuff dealing with the city of Wilmington. Y'all remember all this? Then he got to saying Lene hacked his and Lenon and Lenon hacked his bank account. I said, what are you talking? I ain't got nothing to do. I don't know what you're talking about. It's another domino that falls. And then he starts to blame the city. I forgot one. What about the vandalism? Remember he said he was going to go and I'm going to take a look at the footage. Did he ever do that? Whatever happened to all that vandalism? That's just to get money out of people. Lene, he has to get some lawyers together to sue Lene and me. So he need the money. That's all it comes down to. But see, at a certain point, people realize, including a lot of his followers, that he's nothing more than a pathological liar who's spinning false narratives to make excuses as to why FDMG is not complete, but then as to why it is that he needs more money. There's more. Right? Umar talked about how his bank accounts were hacked and that he needed money and how he needed you donors to send him money so he can take care of himself. And a lot of people were like, no, we done given this guy bare minimum $1.6 million. Why we need to send this guy any more money? So it's another domino that falls. There was another one too. I forgot. There was one other one I want to mention. I can't remember. The point is that these dominoes falling one after another, throughout this year, it just sets the situation up for where Umar is at today. And he wants to blame everyone else except himself. But who's the common denominator? It's Umar. Right? I want to play something for you all before we get into the video for today. This right here is from 2019. Some of you may remember this. Most of you guys have not heard this before, but I just want to show you guys how Umar making these excuses, especially when it comes to him not handling basic business with FDMG, is nothing new. We're going to go back to November 19th, 2019. Here we go.
No, I was born to do this work, so I'm going to die with the boots on. That's just how that goes. The second part of this, and I'm glad you brought it up, for my supporters. And I want to be clear because there's a lot of people listening tonight, but my message is only to the supporters. And you're not a supporter if you're not a donor. Those two words are synonymous with each other. Donors support and supporters donate. So that's the only people I'm speaking to. And I say that, Minister Hashim, because when we have these conversations and when I do these different interviews on different platforms, you'll have people call up who don't donate or don't support and want questions answered when they never even contributed to the campaign. So I'm making all the haters aware right now that I'm not even talking to you. I'm talking to folks such as yourself who support the work. Here's the story on the taxes. Number one, when we purchased the building 7 days before the Honorable Frederick Douglass's 201st birthday, February the 7th, 2019, the white attorney who did my closing neglected to tell me that I had 2 weeks to apply and secure tax exemption from Newcastle County, because Wilmington is in Newcastle County, Delaware, okay, and also the city of Wilmington. So there's a city tax that you pay, and there's a county tax that you pay. Delaware doesn't have a state tax. Once I bought the school, I contacted the city and the county. I said, hey, we are not-for-profit entity, okay? I want to apply for tax exemption. They told me that you were supposed to have done this within 14 days from the date of your purchase. How in...
No. He should have had this done before he purchased these abandoned buildings. Remember, Umar had tax exempt status. He didn't have it in 2014. He didn't have it. He didn't have it in 2014 when he started raising money for the St. Paul's College. He gets it in 2015, but he doesn't file the proper paperwork with the IRS for 2015, 16, and 17. By the time we get to 17, they revoke his nonprofit status. So Umar, he's still collecting money. All that's personal income. That 1.6 figure that I've come up with and show you based upon his IRS filings, that's not counting all that money back then. That has nothing to do with the new IRS nonprofit status that Umar he established in 2020. But because he didn't do it at the beginning of the year or before the beginning of the year, it's not retroactive for that year. That's why he had to pay taxes for 2019, property taxes and school taxes, 2019 and 2020. Upwards of $170,000 of wasted money simply because he didn't have his paperwork in order. But you see the point that I'm getting at already? Is that Umar already has excuses lined up as to why he didn't have handle basic business. Just like now here in 2025, over six and a half years later, he's talking about how, the city of Wilmington, I wanted to get this special arrangement made so that if I want to, because I just got done paying the water, but then because I paid the water, I want them to give me a break on the other bills. And you see what I'm saying? But what does it come down to? He doesn't handle basic business. Let's keep going.
In the hell was I supposed to know I had 2 weeks to get tax exemption? So I reached out to the white attorney who did the closing, and I asked him, why didn't you tell me I had 2 weeks to get the tax exemption? Don't you think that's something I should know?
You should know that anyway. You already had tax exempt status back in 2015. It gets revoked in 2017. You have 2 years to get it reinstated or to set up a new EIN number, which he never really did. But why didn't you do that before you purchased these trap bandos in Wilmington, Delaware? Umar went to go visit these bandos in 2017. I can pull up the video and show it to you guys. See, excuse after excuse, he has to blame someone else.
The client paying for your service, he never answered the question.
Cry, baby.
You know what that tells me? He did it on purpose. I believe he was jealous that a young black man walked into his office, you follow me, and wrote a check in that amount of money, and I'm not a drug dealer.
What are you talking about?
White folks looked at me like I was crazy when I pulled that check out. They're like, wait a minute, who is this guy? So I think they then went to the internet, found out who I was, and became upset that they even accepted me as a client in the first place. So I believe the attorney deliberately sabotaged me because on a
Umar's two favorite words is mumps and sabotage.
Certain level, he felt some type of way that a young black man could produce this type of money for a school, okay?
Doesn't it sound similar to how he was talking when he was talking about the city of Wilmington?
And not a nightclub, because we love to buy nightclubs. He produced this type of money for a school without no white backing, no
What's up,
loan
Dr.
from the bank, straight cash because of the love of the people.
The attorney is a white attorney, Lady Luck Club. He says it's right now. Now, as the story goes, Umar initially says he hired because people were clowning him about that. Well, why'd you get a white attorney? So what Umar does, he comes up with another story. He's a pathological liar. He comes up with another story. He says, well, initially I got a black a lawyer, and he was doing it at first, but then his time commitments got in the way. So he recommended, highly recommended this white attorney. And that's why I went with. But then the white attorney, they sabotaged. Anybody remember that? It's always something with this guy. Let's go.
So that's number one. The attorney that did my closing sabotaged us. Now let's do with number two. FDMG was a tax-exempt organization under the IRS. But there's only one problem. The IRS never served notice.
Didn't he say the same thing about the city of Wilmington? With this munition that comes down, where they're going to put these bundles up for sheriff's sale? You see?
That we had been approved for tax exemption. So guess what I'm saying? They sabotaged us too. They couldn't refuse the tax exemption. So they simply said, we're not going to let him know that he got the tax exemption.
Everybody's sabotaging him. Is there God's little princess sabotaging him? Pretty Brown Eyes been Joshua been sabotaging him for 3 months. Lay Luck Club been sabotaging him every week. Shay sabotaging him once a month. Everybody trying to sabotage this guy. I'll play a little more.
We find out about the tax exemption after chasing down the IRS officer responsible for FDMG's tax-exempt application. We was calling them, emailing them, both me.
You're responsible.
Me and my accountant, professional accountant, working on this with me. And then we come to find out later that the IRS withdrew FDMG's tax exemption before they even told us.
That was in 2017. What are you talking about? You didn't purchase these trap balance until 2019, Umar. Get your story straight, homeboy.
We had a tax exemption. So that's set up number two. So where are we right now? Right now, we are in the process of applying to reinstate the tax exemption. And the reason we're in the process of reinstating the tax exemption, Brother Hashim, is because the taxes on that school, that campus, that 4-building campus, is over $150,000 per year. We owe, and I'm pulling from memory right now, on the Frederick Douglass building for the city of Wilmington, we owe about $50,000. For the Marcus Garvey building for the city of Wilmington, we owe
Yeah, DD. Don't this sound familiar? This is in 2019. Here we are in 2025, and you see all this stuff going on up there with these trap bundles now? And I'm talking about the city of Wilmington. I don't want my wife. Boy, they be boy, anyway. Let's go.
About $20,000. That's just for the city of Wilmington. For the county, it's even more. For both buildings together for the county, we owe about $95,000. Altogether, you're dealing with more than $150,000, $160,000 per year. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. So my accountant right now is working as fast as he can. I just met with him the day before yesterday to try to get that application in and get it approved, because the last time we did this, they gave us the runaround, and when they finally approved it,
isn't this what he said? Isn't this what he said about the, what did he call that? The waiver? Isn't this exactly what he said about the waiver for 2025 with the city of Wilmington? With the vacant property fees? Hit the one. You guys, it's the same thing.
Never even told us we had it. So the proper paperwork was not being filed because we was waiting for an approval letter that we never got. So where are we now on the $150,000 taxes that we owe? I have an agreement with Newcastle County.
Sound familiar? This guy, he don't stop.
That I just made last week, and I have to mail them a $25,000 down payment check.
We got almost 1,300 people, but thank you guys so much for tuning on. And make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed the show. And you can point at this. We're gonna get things ramped back up. Okay. Make sure you vote on the poll too. Let's go.
On back taxes that we shouldn't owe had we not been sabotaged by both the closing attorney and the IRS. So we entered into agreement with Newcastle County, $25,000 down. We're going to have to pay about $10,000 a month to satisfy the bill before the next bill comes around, which I believe is July of 2020. With the city of Wilmington, we did the same thing. We're about to do a tax agreement with Wilmington where we're going to put $10,000 down. And again, we have to pay off the balance of that before the next tax bill comes out in July. So we're basically going to be paying almost $20,000 a month in order to satisfy a bill that we should not even owe. I'm saying that to the donors.
That's what he said about the waiver, right? That we shouldn't even have to pay this. Well, if you had your paperwork in order, if Umar had his paperwork in order, and if he was handling basic business, filling out some paperwork and sending it in, that's all. And doing it on time. That's all it is. I had this person call me today. I don't want to say too much, but they was like, "Is this such and such?" I said, "No, that's my wife." Okay, well, good. Yeah, blah blah. And they said, "Well, we have a bill here. It is for 400 and something." I said, "What?" I said, "Are you serious?" I said, "Well, why is it that high?" "Well, blah blah blah." I said, "Well, give me the information." And I paid it all. Then I texted my wife. I said, "I just paid this other bill. I don't know where this bill came from, but I just paid it." But see, it would probably have been about $380 if I paid it off when it was actually. I just didn't know about it. I ain't blaming nobody. I'm just saying, you handle business, okay? Umar, he doesn't handle business, and I get it if something slips under that you just kind of miss. I get it. But this is a different dynamic with Umar. See, with the city of Wilmington, those bills were over 6 years old. The ones where he's talking about he was trying to make some sort of special. He wanted special dispensation because he just paid the water bill, and for the vacant property fees, he wants some sort of a deal. Blah blah blah. Well, that stuff had been accumulating since 2019. So there's no excuse for that. The point is that Umar doesn't handle basic business. Okay, and again, let's be real. Sometimes things slip through the cracks. I get it, but that's not what we're dealing with here. This is consistently what we see with Umar Johnson. Okay, and instead of holding himself accountable, he blames everyone else.
To let them know that if you've been donating 20, you need to donate 40. If you've been donating 50, you need to donate 100, because the city of Wilmington, Minister Hashim, has been targeted for gentrification. It's been targeted for gentrification. And what do they do to get rid of black folks who own property in places that have already been identified as a ethnic cleansing zone? They raise your taxes. So they're trying to price us out of FDMG, because I was told by several brothers and sisters on the ground in Wilmington that there's certain white folk who are extremely upset that we purchased that building, because they were just about to purchase it and they did not know that Dr. Umar was in the pipeline. So
this guy, he's incredible. Those buildings had been sitting for over 2 years. They just was about to purchase it. Didn't nobody want them funky things.
They're angry because I am blocking their ethnic cleansing agenda. And by ethnic cleansing, that's just the real word.
Listen, I'm not laughing at Umar's foolishness. Someone said, "Please stay on for the rest of the night, Brother Leonard." I don't care who don't like it. I think I'm going to take off tomorrow, though. Here we go.
So there's people who don't want us there, but we're going to remain there because that's where the Most High and the ancestors put us, and we're going to stay there and finish the job. But we're talking big money here. We're talking very big money. Now, here's the other piece. Let me give you this piece.
Here you go. And this will be the last part. Then we get to the big one. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're back. I thought the Goonie Goons got you.
Let me say this and then I'll shut up. Before we can enter into an agreement with the city of Wilmington, I have to first satisfy the utility bill. The reason the utility bill has not been paid is because there is some inconsistency on the different meters that they have going to the school. So, for example, there's 2 school buildings, right? 4 buildings total. We have the Honorable Frederick Douglass School Building. That's the large building almost 20 classrooms, extremely large modern gymnasium. We have the Honorable Marcus Garvey building. That's the smaller school right across the street on Ifatunde Avenue, which is what I renamed that street of 17th Street, Ifatunde Avenue. So the Honorable Marcus Garvey building stares out across the street at the Honorable Frederick Douglass building. So the Garvey building has about 12 classrooms, okay, computer room, lab. Both schools are beautiful, brother. Whenever you're ready to come down.
Both schools are beautiful? What in the world? This video is from 2019 that I'm playing. Can I show you something real quick from 2025? Hold on one second.
Let me do my thing, because for me to do what I'm doing is no, a lot of niggas can't do what I do. So please stop with the negative. I came all the way down.
Shout out to Fammer Tube. He went up there recently. We're going to cover this whole video at some point. I know I've been saying that for like a month. This is in 2025, and it still looks horrible. Look at this.
Everybody go. I don't see niggas coming back here. So this is the school. Let me refocus. Let me refocus. Hold on. Let me refocus for a second.
Yeah, shout out to Fammer Tube. Let me just show you this one part over here. This is in 2025, y'all. I'll just skip through the whole thing, and you all can see little segments of it. The video we were watching was from 2019, and Umar talking about how it's beautiful. Well, look what it looks like in 2019. This sign is still up there from the Maurice J. Moyer Academy, the new J. Moyer Academy. Paint looking all dilapidated. Pipes missing. Mold all down the wall. Yeah, he did a thorough investigation on it. Was that well, this is horrible. Mold all on the, there go that little camera. Mold all on the walkway. Umar got those little cameras, little itty bitty cameras. Okay, this is 2019. We're going to cover this soon. We'll watch the whole thing. Yeah. So, I mean, Umar, back in 2019, we were talking about how it was beautiful. That's ridiculous. It's still horrible in 2019. All right. I think I accidentally took, well, let me see here. Yeah, I took the other one down. But which one is this? Hold on one second. Let me see something. Oh, no, here we go. Yeah.
Charter, okay, and the school was renovated and built basically from the ground up. They took old buildings and they renovated those buildings into a modern school. So we're only the second business to occupy this property. The problem is that the building was not secured well.
Technically, it's the third business because the new J. Moyer Academy, they set up a whole, it's considered to be a whole new business, EIN and everything, for if memory serves me correctly. The first one was the J. Moyer Academy. That's it, yeah. And then it became the new J. Moyer Academy. That makes sense to people.
So Mike,
and it was two separate charters. So it technically is two separate businesses. It's anyway.
Tay and Ray and them got in there and stripped it of all the copper and the piping and things like that. Had that never happened, that school would have been ready. We would be having class already because when they left the school, it was a 100%.
Yeah, Umar had them Fisher Price cameras. You know, the ones the kids be using. Yeah,
brand new working order. The school was only about 4 or 5 years old. So we literally have
what's up, bossy man?
Have really been blessed if we can hold
Black
on
Wolf.
to this opportunity. But getting back to my point, the reason the utilities
what did Barbie say?
have not been paid is because we have to get clarity on the meters to make sure we're not being overcharged. Because there's 2 schools, right? 4 buildings, but there's 5 different bills. So whenever I get the utilities, I don't get 1 bill. I get a bill for 5 different meters, but there's only 4 buildings. So later this week, I have to go out there and meet the city.
There's 3 buildings.
Of Wilmington's engineers so they can trace the meters to the appropriate buildings to make sure I'm not being overcharged. There's also the fire water line in case of a fire emergency. I'm being charged for those lines, which have to be repaired. So I was told by a customer service rep from the city of Wilmington that you might not be responsible for paying the fire water charge because your fire lines have been vandalized and need to be repaired. I was going to pay the bill up front. And
so you was going to pay it up front, but you said it in both.
You know what? Just pay it. And I was advised by the city, don't pay this. You don't have money to give away. You need that money for your school, brother.
When do they do that? That person who called me today, they were like, no, don't pay it. Don't even worry about it. Don't pay it. We're going to figure this. No. I ain't gonna lie. I said, well, hold on. Give me all the information. I got to make some phone calls. I need to make, because I thought I paid this bill. I need to find out what's going on. Then I started, then they gave me all the information. And then I was about to start making phone calls. I said, let me just pay this shit. I ain't got time. So I just went on the website and paid it. That was it. But then, but the people trying to collect some money, they're gonna say, oh, don't pay it right now. They don't do that. But Umar,
let's assess the fire line, and then after you do all that, then pay the bill. In other words, if you're not responsible for some of these charges, don't pay for them because
that's
it'll
ridiculous.
take you forever to get your money back. Let's investigate, find out if you're not responsible. If you're not, we can take those charges off the bill, and then you can go ahead and pay it off. So the reason there's been no payment on the city utilities is because they're under investigation. And the reason is,
okay, we're gonna leave it right there. But you see, he didn't. This was back in 2019. He wasn't paying the city utilities all the way until 2006, 2025, 6.5 years later, with what happened about a month and a half ago. You got to see the point how this connects. So he's telling all these stories back then, and all it comes down to is that Umar, most of the money that Umar's collected, he's used on himself. When he acquired these abandoned buildings for $400,000, that's all he had left. That's why he didn't start renovations for another year and a half, because he didn't have any money to start renovations. He has to concoct a story, a false narrative to kind of spread this out a little bit longer. I'm trying to get the blueprints. I'm trying to get the blueprints. I'm trying to get the blueprints. You guys remember this? Well, guess what? All those bills that he's talking about back in 2019, he never paid those bills. That's why by the time we get to 2025, 6.5 years later, now the city's like, we're tired of all this foolishness. At this point, we're going to actually put these buildings up for sheriff's sale if you don't come up with a payment plan or come up with the money on this. But you gotta see how this plays itself out. I just happened to run across this video on accident. As I'm transferring files over and all, I still got this all kinds of stuff dealing with the documentary. And I was going through 2019. I'm into 2019. I'm transferring files over. I said, what is this video right here? And I clicked on it and I was listening. I said, wait a minute, this is the same story he was telling more recently about the city of Wilmington. It's a different type. It's just a little different, but it's the same thing. Excuses, blaming other people, blaming the city, so forth and so on. But you realize the same bills that he's talking about back then, it's not all of them, but some of the bills that he's talking about back then, he never paid them for another 5, almost 6 years, 5, 6 years later. And that's why things are where they're at here today with Umar and these abandoned buildings. Okay. All right. Let's get into the video for today. Let me get to these super chats right quick. What's up? Patrick says he going to pay him on Monday. Yeah. The thing is that Umar should have handled this in the first place from the beginning. And because most of the money he spent on his lifestyle, he doesn't have the money needed to pay things. Basic stuff, nothing big, nothing major. See, the acquisition, that price of $400,000, even though Umar Johnson said it was more than that. He's never given a definitive answer as to how much he paid. It could be much less than that. He's never provided any paperwork. He said that there's no mortgage, but we don't know that as 100% fact because he lies all the time. But the point is, Patrick, that he doesn't have the money. See? He's collected enough money, but he spent so much money on his lifestyle. Turning the heat down, gambling, traveling all around the world, crushing cookies, sending women money, eating out all the time, living in and out of hotel, motel rooms. It's expensive lifestyle. Eating out is expensive. Clothes, he buys a lot of clothes. He buys a lot of cars. You rarely see Umar wearing. He wears the same jeans all the time. I think he got a problem. But he has different dashiki. That's very expensive. A lot of most of the money has gone towards Umar Johnson's lifestyle. So basic bills that really you donors, Umar Johnson followers who donate to FDMG, most of that money that you sent to him did not go towards FDMG. There's at least $1 million missing, bare minimum. It's just we don't know. There's no accounting for it whatsoever. And some people say that's a lot of money. No, it's not a lot of money if you look at it in the timeline. He's been at this, based on his words, 2014. But I have people on record saying that they gave Umar donations for this school back in 2009. I've also seen people say 2008 and 2007. He's been collecting money for such a long time. So that cash app gets shut off, like I said in the beginning, and that really had a big impact on Umar in terms of him being able to get money out of people. Okay, all this excuse making, all of this baby mama drama going on, him, disowning his daughter and going in on her online. I forgot another one was him going in on his daddy, Jamal. Jamal done took all this stuff off of social media. It's another domino that fell. See, all these things lead up to where Umar is at today. And he needs money. But see, if he had listened to what I told him years and years and years ago, see, he doesn't realize it. He's a slave to this FDMG school scam. He's not a boss. You guys understand what I'm saying? Umar's not a boss. He's not in control of anything. He's not in control of his own life. He's a slave to this FDMG school scam, because the FDMG school scam is what allows him to live out his self-destructive lifestyle. But he's a slave to it. Not that he wants to open it up, but that he always has to concoct some excuse as to why things aren't moving forward or why this is happening and it's everyone else's fault, it's sabotage, blah, blah, blah. But he don't realize, if he had took my advice from years ago, see, the thing that is on Umar's back the most, it's not the turning of the heat down. It's not that monkey. The thing that's on Umar's back the most and is the heaviest is this FDMG school scam. And I told him years ago that if you want to get things turned around in your life, you got to let this go. He don't want to listen. See? So he ain't got the money. Now, did he have enough money to get something started? Absolutely. But he's not interested in getting things started. He's interested in continuing to get money because he got another monkey on his back. See? Thanks, Patrick. Kadar says, someone type in the address to the location and see what it pulls up. He's been there too long for it to say FDMG. No. Umar has two signs that say Umar has two signs that says FDMG. I found that video too, by the way, where he was lying about renovations being done up there. There was cities that were doing pipe work. It was pipe work. They were digging up the street and stuff. Umar tried to act like they were there doing renovations for FDMG. Umar put up two signs up there. That's all he's done. But he never took off the J Moyer Academy. See, that's what he should have done in the very beginning when he first got there. I'm going to tell y'all something, because I was thinking about this before a little bit earlier today when Brother James emailed me and said that Umar had gone live. Any of you men up in here, if something needs to get done and you're the one who's supposed to do it, do you wait around for someone else to do it? I'm talking to you men. As a man, if it's your responsibility to get something done, and you know that, do you wait around for someone else to do it for you? And the answer is absolutely not. It's an affront to manhood. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility. You're going to handle it. I'm going to handle it. And you're not going to sit around. I'm not going to sit around and expect someone else to do it for you or do it for myself. It's not going to happen. And to do that actually makes you feel less than a man. Well, see, Umar, hey, he hasn't figured this out yet. See, the bills, he expects somehow that these bills are going to disappear magically. Who's responsible for them? Umar's responsible for it. Umar, he's thinking in his mind, okay, it's not this getting this sign taken down to the J Moyer Academy. That's something that I should do. But you know what? I'm just going to sit back and here we are 6.5 years later. It's still up there. Well, whose responsibility is it to take that down? Was it to take that? It was Umar's responsibility. So as a man, he's not doing the basic requirements of a man, that if there's something is your responsibility and you're supposed to get it done, and you know that you're supposed to get it done, then you don't wait around for someone else to do it or to blame other people as to why it hasn't been done. But that's what I've seen in Umar consistently, is he always blames everyone else and never wants to hold himself accountable for things that a man should do, basic things that men should do. So as an example, Kadar, the FDMG signs, okay, that's great that he got these FDMG signs put up there. That's great. And I even gave him credit for that when he did that. I remember. But the fact that he still has the J Moyer Academy signs up there after 6.5 years, there's no excuse for that. Whose responsibility is it to handle that business? Well, that's Umar's responsibility. It's nothing major. It's nothing major. You get a ladder, you get your big ass up there, and you take it down. How long would that take? 45 minutes, maybe. Maybe 45 minutes. So why hasn't it been done in 6.5 years? Okay. All right. Thank you, Kadar. Kadar also says, in the new vid, he's in a rental at an airport terminal in the dark. The funds are dry as his dry beard. By the way, I grew my beard out too over these last couple of weeks. I should have took a picture and showed y'all, but if I showed y'all, I'm so gray, y'all probably thought I was like aging 80 years old and shit. So I said, let me go ahead and cut this off. I'm gonna go live. Because if you can imagine this right here, and I cut this down too, because it was longer too. You can imagine going all the way like that. He's in a bad. See, that's the thing. He has to come back online. He has to. See, I can take a break, I needed a break. I said I was going to be a couple of days. It turned into a week, and it turned into 2 weeks, 3 weeks, almost a month. But Umar, he's not in a position in his life to not be online. So even when he's really bad, I'm talking about he's just, you can tell his situation is dire. He has to get online and beg for money. Now, Kadar, I don't know if he actually asks for donations or not. It's likely that he does. That's what he tends to do, but we'll see inside of the video. But the point is that Umar, again, like I said earlier, he's a slave to this FDMG school scam. He doesn't realize it, but the best thing that he could do is to walk away from it. See? But he's unwilling to do that because even though he thinks that it's easy, it's easy money, it's actually, look where his life is at. His life is hard. It is. It's hard. Sitting in rental cars in the dark at an airport. Come on. 51 years old. All right. Thanks, Kadar, for the super chats. A lady says, who's the most sabotaged school psychologist? Umar. He's on the, and that's the thing, as men, you can't just blame everybody all the time. You can't do that. You got to hold yourself accountable. And yeah, you blame yourself too. Like in my struggles in life, I can't blame anybody else. I can't. I recognize in retrospect and with wisdom why it was that I was where I was at. And it was nobody else's fault but mine. And I can own that. That's what men should do. But why can't Umar do that? See, but he's in a state of arrested development. Furthermore, you Umar Johnson fathers, one of you donors, you've enabled him to be where he's at today. You've enabled. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying that your contributions to this FDMG has gone towards Umar's self-destruction more than it has to quote unquote FDMG. Where's the school at? It was supposed to open this month. We all remember that? He said September 2025. He also said August of 2025. He also said January of 2025 and February of 2025. He also said Kwanzaa of 2025. He said the same thing last year. And the year before that, and the year before, going all the way back to 2010, when he said school was going to open September 11, 2013. Yeah, this school was supposed to open September 11, 2013. And he's still collecting money. Sabotage. Thanks, lady. Hope you're doing all right. Jam7 said, nothing is free, Umar. Pay your bills. It's real talk. It's real talk. Especially when you got to deal with that tax creep. Oh, boy, I hate that. Okay? But you got to handle the business. There's no way around it. That's just life. That's part of being an adult. Umar hasn't figured that out yet. Okay? Thank you, Jam7 Jack 5 for the super chat. Okay, I got this one earlier. Orange Kush. What in the world? So, Lenon, I'm glad you're back. I thought the Goody Goose got you. No, I'm good. Yeah, Umar, always someone else's fault. Thank you, Kadar. Black Wolf says, I sabotaged him because I nailed his closet door closed. So when the sun came up, he couldn't retreat to his hamster cage for shelter from the daylight. Okay. That's very descriptive. You try to say Umar's a vampire or some shit? All right. A vampire inside Mama closet. Okay, that makes sense. Thanks, Black Wolf. Hope you're doing all right, too. WWMG became a member. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Look like a Goonie Goon. I'll just mess with you. James says, Umar don't have access to his email. Also, something is still going on with those buildings. Umar not telling the people. Yeah, there obviously there's something going on. For Umar to be away, and again, we're going to get to the video in about 2 minutes, but it's going to be interesting to see what he actually talks about in the wording, the verbiage that he uses. I think that there are things going on behind the scenes. Now, this whole bank account thing being frozen, I don't believe any of that shit. I don't believe any of it. I don't think anything was wrong with his bank accounts. I just think he ran out of money. Right? And we considered other possibilities that maybe the bank accounts were frozen by the IRS or the bank accounts were frozen by, one of the Alphabet boys. Listen, I think Umar he knew he didn't have no money. He knew that these buildings were about to be sold. So he had to come up with some excuse as to why he hasn't paid these bills for 6.5 years, 6 years to be fair. And so what he comes up with is that Lenon got his bank account information, and then later on, Lenon and I hacked his bank accounts, and then the bank accounts got disappeared, and then they got frozen. But then after that, they came back. It can't go on and on. But what it all comes down to is that he just didn't have no money. Okay. All right. Thanks, James. Yeah, definitely there's other stuff going on, I'm sure. Black Wolf gifted, man. Thank you so much, Black Wolf, for gifting a membership and gifted 2 memberships. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, what's up, arrogant pupil? Says fake AI vid's been going ham on. Oh no, I haven't been watching anything. I haven't. When I say I took a break, I took a break. Okay, much needed, very much needed. I do know this, that before I took a break, there were a lot of people covering Umar and a lot of critics. Okay, there's defenders there too. I think everyone has a place, and everyone should have a voice. But I did notice that more than at any point since I've covered Umar, the amount of people that have been online doing videos on Umar and critiquing him, way more than what I've ever seen. Way more than now AI coming up. Okay, all right. Thanks, arrogant people. For the super chat. T, thank you so much. Says, welcome back, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Glad to be back. I ain't gonna lie. I really was. I was having some withdrawal symptoms. I ain't gonna lie. Thank you, T. Miranda says, hey, Lenon and Cooker said, happy to see you back. You had us in withdrawal, man. I was having withdrawal too. I ain't lying. I'm glad to be with the family. Yeah, welcome everyone inside the Cook Check, including you, Umar Johnson followers. You guys are welcome here too. You donors, you Umar Johnson followers. You guys are welcome here as well. Okay, I don't have any ill will towards Umar or you Umar Johnson followers. I don't have any animosity towards Umar, you Umar Johnson followers or donors. None at all. At my age, I don't have time to be living life like that. I just don't. So you guys are welcome here too, and I'm always fair with Umar. Speaking of fairness too, if I go live tomorrow, I think I'm gonna take tomorrow off. I got like 2 weeks of vacation time. I still got to use this year. If I go live tomorrow, I have to issue a retraction, okay? Because I'm always fair dealing with Umar, and I'll explain that if I go live tomorrow. Anyway, you Umar Johnson followers, you guys are welcome here too. Okay. And thank you again, Miranda. Thank you for the super chat, and I'm glad to be back too. Okay. All right. It feels good. It's been a while. It's been a while. Okay. Did I get to everyone? We're gonna get into this video. WWMG sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Do you think Umar will go back to his mama's closet? Michael, I do. I miss Umar's mama closet too. I do. It's been a long time. And remember, it was around because he was in his mama closet when he was going in on his baby mamas and stuff. You guys remember that? And I can actually find out exactly when the last video was that Umar was inside his mama closet. But part of the issue was that when Lenon comes out and starts to talk about Umar and the living conditions that he had his mama living in, and then corroborating what I've talked about with Umar living with his mama, because those people that didn't believe that. They said, no, he's not living with his mama. No, he is. He was living with his mama. Okay, I've been talking about that for years now. in 2019, in 2019, he gets evicted from the last residence that he had. That was the last time he had his own residence, was at the end of 2019. And then what we see towards the end of 2019 through 2020, you see Umar, he's always in hotel motel rooms, live stream. You don't see him with that backdrop. Remember, he flipped the phone. You don't see him there anymore. That's because he got evicted by that time. So you donors, that a lot of that money went towards Umar being able to live inside of hotels and motel rooms for roughly, I want to say about 10 months. But then what we find is that by the time we get into 2021, he's living inside his mama closet. Okay? So when Lenon talks about all of this and the living conditions in 2025, Umar, by that time, Umar had been living off his mama for over 4 years by that point. Yeah, 4 years, 2021, 22, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 years. Almost 5 years, I should say. So you see all these videos of Umar live streaming inside his mama closet, but then because Lenon comes and speaks out about Umar, and then people start putting the pieces together, especially if you take what she said and corroborate what I've talked about with Umar, and then I've shown evidence over and over again of Umar inside his mama closet, Umar stops live streaming inside his mama closet. And I think for 2 reasons. Number one, he doesn't want people to talk about him live streaming inside his mama closet. Okay, he doesn't want people. It's embarrassing. Yeah, it should be. Okay, but the other thing is that and I'm speculating here, I believe that there's things that are taking place behind the scenes for Umar. He can't be up in there for that amount of time inside his mama's house like that, because he has agencies that are checking in on his mama to make sure that she's okay. And he's not supposed to be living there. You guys understand what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the primary caretaker, but in terms of him living there, see, again, like I said, how are you going to live in Section 8 housing off of your mama, take up the whole second floor as Lenon has described, and yet you've raised a bare minimum since 2019, you've raised $1.6 million, all tax-free? So that's another reason, and I'm speculating there, but that's another reason why I believe Umar is not live streaming his mama closet. And who knows? He may be back up in there. I'm gonna tell you what I think right now. I think he's all the way homeless. You see what I'm saying? All the way, that he can't go back to his mama closet like that. Okay, thank you, Michael. And then thank you again, WMG, for the super sticker. Elias says, I'm going to start commenting side bow on every, what does that mean? on every Umar IG post. What side bow? Let me look it up. That's probably something crazy. Let me be careful. Let me see what happens. Side bow. Side bow is a slang term primarily found on Roblox that is coded way of saying shut your what? What? Shut your effing something up. And we'll leave it right there. Okay. Like you talk about the Roblox. That's crazy. All right. Thank you, Elias. Thank you, Elias, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Prices, Princess. Umar, he always pays his bills on the 33rd of every month. Okay, without fail, the 33rd of every month. Thank you for the super chat. His supporters is not supporting no more with his life. Yeah, I have a sense that that's part of the issue too at this point with Umar, and that's another reason why he hasn't been live. Because I remember the last video that he actually uploaded, his followers were going in on him. You know what's crazy? He did that live today, and shout out to James. James sent me a link, emailed it to me, and I went and I looked, and he didn't even have 600. He couldn't even get 600 people to tune in. He's a struggle streamer. How are you going to have over 1 million followers on Instagram, but you can't get 600 people to watch your live? Well, we got 1,500 right now, Umar. 1,550. That makes sense. 1,550. You a struggle streamer. Live streaming in a rental car at the airport. Anyway, okay. Using that airport Wi-Fi. I'm just playing. I think that's another part of what has happened with Umar, that more and more people have waken up. Let me say this too, because I always got to be fair. See, there are people who they wanted to support Umar for this idea, and I'm not even going to say a vision, because I don't think it was a vision. I think it was a come up. But this idea of opening up a school, so they were invested in that because it sounds good. It sounds like a great idea. Like, okay, we're going to open up the school for Black boys and everything that Black boys have to do. Okay, I get it. But see, people are only going to send you money up to a certain point, because at a certain point you have to show and prove. Either you show and prove or you don't. And as a man, Umar should have shown and proved by now. He's sitting back waiting for things to happen. Then he blames people when stuff don't go the way that he would like, right? So what has happened with a lot of his followers, and I'm talking about the donors in particular, when it comes to Umar and this idea of opening up a school, FDMG, a lot of people, they're done with that. He conceptualized it in 2004. Well, that's 21 years ago. I mean, what are you sending money for? No, really, you Umar Johnson donors, you do whatever you want to with your money. It's your hard-earned money. You can do whatever you want to with it. But why? What has Umar done that would justify your belief in him to such a degree to where you will send him your own hard-earned money? He hasn't opened up a school. So I think a lot of his followers, a lot of his donors in particular, they realize that, no, something's not right here. And I'm not going to be sending this guy any money. I'm sure there's people probably who say, I'm not going to, for now, I'm going to stop sending him money until I see such and such and such and such. And then if I see that, then I'll start sending him money. But they should have said that really the truth is that they should have had expectations from the beginning, because Umar has raised more than enough money to open up something by now. But again, like I said, most of the money has not gone towards opening up a school. Most of the money has gone towards Umar. Right. So, yeah, more and more I think of his followers as donors in particular. They're just not, and it makes sense because at a certain point, people, they're like, okay, you're not showing me what you said you were going to do. I'm not going to keep sending you money for what? Well, I'm going to keep sending you money. Okay, thanks a lot for the super chat. Not a Goonie Goon, love you. Okay, all right. That's cool. I don't mind. You Goonie Goons, you're welcome here too. Okay? No, real talk. You Goonie Goons, you're all welcome here too. The thugs, and we called them gangbangers back then. Now you can't say that shit. Because recently I was trying to look up some of the old homies. I never gangbanged, but I had homeboys that was, they was thugging. They was family members and shit. They was Bloods, Eastside Pyru, and all this shit, right? So I went on to Google. I said, let me see if I can look some of these people up. So I put in gangbang, and y'all don't even want to know what showed up. I said, what kind of anyway? You're welcome. You're welcome here, even if you're a Goonie Goon thug. Okay. Holly B, and thanks, WWMG. Holly B says, so glad to see you, Lenon. I hope you and your family are well. Cook Crochet is undefeated. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm doing fine. I had to take a break. And again, like I said, it was supposed to be for a couple of days, but it turned into a week, and it turned into 2 weeks, and it turned into 3 weeks. And it was very much needed. I needed some time. Okay. So thank you so much, Holly B. And thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat as well. Okay. Yeah, and you're right. Cook Chat is undefeated. Jam says, gotta remember Umar's bank issue started with his homie asking him for some money. Yeah. Because that's another thing, the way you can tell Umar he's a pathological liar, because the story makes no sense. See, if your homie is calling you to ask you for some money, why you got to go look into your bank account? I mean, what was he at? He didn't say how much. What was he asking for? $50,000? I mean, if he said he needed $500, why you got to go look in your bank account for that? All of a sudden, let me go check my bank account. The story don't even make no sense. My homie, Umar, you need to cut it out. The story is ridiculous all the way across, but that's just a pathological liar. Again, he's trying to paint this narrative to where the reason why these schools were potentially going to be taken away from him because he didn't pay all these bills was because his bank accounts had been hacked. That's a narrative he was trying to spin. He just didn't do a good job of it. And like I said, a lot of his followers, they realized it. A lot of his donors realized, said, man, this guy, he's lying. He's lying like never before. And truth be told, Jam, some of the people probably that was the first time when they realized that Umar was a pathological liar. They may have believed a lot of the lies that he was told in the past, but that right there, it was so crazy and out. You guys remember that? A lot of people are like, no, that's it. Okay. His homie. Yeah, my homeboy called me today. He's asking for a couple of bucks. I got to go check my bank account. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Jam 7 Jack 5 for the super chat. All right, did I get to everyone? I think I'm okay. Real quick, the smart Barbie says Umar got visitation rights to his mom. Yeah, he be spending time with his mama closet, don't he? He spent time with his mama closet. He be visiting the mama closet. That's the only visitation Umar have that's not supervised. You know what I'm saying? That was a chair squeaking. I'm giving this chair to my son anyway. I got me a new computer. I'm gonna give him my old computer, which is still really good, but I got me a beast. All right. Yeah. We're gonna see. We'll see whether or not Umar be back in his mama closet soon or not. We're gonna have to wait and see. All right. Thanks to Smart Bar for Super Chat. And then Katavet says, when people like Umi hit their lowest points, like being homeless and losing the support of gullible followers, they are open to the greatest change. Yeah, that's a great way of looking at this. That really is. It's a wise way of looking at this, and what I mean by that is I know Umar, because I haven't watched the video, but I can tell him sitting inside the dark, because he's been in these positions in before in the past. I've seen it, and I know where he's at. Again, that CashApp getting shut down. You know, Lenon coming out, his daughter coming out, spilling the beans. His daddy, him going in on his daddy even taking his social media all off, took everything down. The lie about the vandalism, you know, the lie about the bank accounts being frozen. All of this leads Umar to, I mean, it could be the lowest point. It could be. It could be. But wisdom shows us that when we get to those points, and I've been there too. I mean, it's not the same route that Umar has taken, but just being down and out, I've been there, and I know what it feels like. I know what it's like. This is the time, you know, Umar, he could engage in a process to bring forth the greatest change in his life. There's this fly. We don't get flies that often, but this fly, as soon as I started this live stream, I was setting up and here it comes. I probably need to turn some lights on over there, probably go over there. Matter of fact, let me do that. But yeah, that's a wise way of looking at this. That Umar, he could really use where he's at today as an opportunity to make some serious changes. And I've tried my best to kind of give him the best advice that I could think of for him to get that process started. It's never too late. But I think with Umar, you know, his biggest obstacle is his ego. You know, he doesn't have humility. He's not humble enough to set things down, set the weights down, and then figure things out. And you got to look at yourself critically. And he doesn't like people criticizing him. So how is he going to look at himself critically? Hey, I'm my biggest critic. You know, it took my own criticism, other people's criticism online though too, but it took my own criticism to realize what I needed to do. And I've been working my plan now for many years now. Yeah, that's a wise way of looking at this. This could be Umar at a point where he's open to the greatest change. And it could be the greatest change for him in his own personal life, but it can also be an opportunity for the greatest change for his followers too. Because they can ask themselves, why was I following something like this in the first place? No disrespect, just being real about it. Thank you, Katavet. Very wise. I appreciate that. All right, let's get to the video for today, everyone. Okay, an hour in. It's not too bad. Sometimes we go 3 hours and we don't get to it. There is a poll question. By the way, we have over 600 likes already. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed the show at any point during this live stream, go ahead and hit that like button and help us to get into the algorithms. I'd appreciate that. We got over 1,600 people in the building. Thank you for that. Shout out to the Cookie Crush chat. The poll question, we have 1,397 votes so far. Why did Umar Johnson go silent? He was first option was 58% said he was hiding after lying so much. That's what I think is part of it. 11% said he was on vacation in mama's closet. That was more of a joke, okay? But 11% said yeah. 24% said he was being investigated for fraud. That's possible, yeah. And then 7% said he was working on FDMG. I don't know who the 7% are, who the people are, but no, okay? All right. All right, so let's get into the video for today. This is what Umar posted. He had went live today on his Instagram page, and I haven't watched the video, but I'm looking forward to seeing what Umar will be talking about this. It's going to be interesting to see the wording that he uses and whether or not he asks for donations. All right, okay, so here we go, Cookie Chat. Let's get going.
Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism, peace and Pan Africanism.
Give me some more to drink.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Good Garvey Day to my continental Africans. Good Garvey Day to my Nigerian Africans, my Liberian Africans, my South Africans, my Ethiopian Africans, my Congolese Africans, my Lesotho Africans, my Malawi Africans, my Togolese, my Benin Africans, my Cote d'Ivoire, my Sierra Leone Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Madagascar Africans, my Angola, my Mozambique, my Eritrean Africans.
He must be going to Africa. That's why he's doing, because he want to get that money when he get over there. That's what I think. Is he going over to Africa?
Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Caribbean Africans, my Jamaicans, my Haitians, my Turks and Caicos, my Bahamas, Bermuda, Barbados, St. Croix, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, St. Martin. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my South American Africans, my Central American Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Africans of Europe and Asia, my Australian Africans, my Toronto Africans, my Nova Scotia Africans, my Montreal Africans. Peace and Pan-Africanism to my Texas Africans, my Florida Africans, my Georgia Africans, my California, my Michigan, my Illinois Africans, my Jersey, Connecticut, my Boston, my Harlem Africans, my Bronx Africans.
By the way, Black Anonymous, you had emailed me. I just remembered that I didn't reply, but I do have the video you were asking about. Here it is, muted, because he has music in the background. This is y'all's principal in Mama Closet. This is from September 7th of 2024. Y'all's principal. He has spooky music playing in the background. The craziest part is inside the Mama Closet.
Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. Peace and Pan-Africanism, peace and Pan-Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifa Tunde Oguntade.
And I'm sitting inside my Mama Closet. I'm sitting inside my Mama Closet. This is y'all's principal. He's a school psychologist, multi-credit scholar, Big Papa, Prince of Pan-Africanism, dirty fingernails. All right. There is another one, though, too, Black Anonymous. I have to find that one. It's one of those masks he put on one time. It's from, there was a whole bunch of these movies. Scream, you know, that mask from that, I think it was called Scream. It was real popular back in the day. They got like 9 movies on the thing now. But he had one of those on one time, too. I just got to run back into it. That's y'all's principle. All right, let's get back to it.
And Island, my long...
Shout out to Black Anonymous.
My Queens Africans, peace and
Hey, Maddie, how's it going?
My Philly Africans, my Delaware Africans, my Maryland, my...
Yeah, I don't know, Maddie. I don't know anything in terms of what's going on behind the scenes, but I just hope that the mama is either placed in a better situation, or the situation improves where Umar is either not involved or his involvement is extremely limited. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see how things play itself out. But can you imagine, Maddie, someone who's sitting up inside his mama closet, and this is what he's doing online? I mean, y'all really think about that. This is what he's doing. This is what this chat. I was trying to make an important point, but this chat room is, come on. I just want y'all to think about this. This is what, see, when you watch the movies that be coming on, or the TV shows where it's about this crazy ass son and they be living in the basement, where he's just living in mama closet. But this is what's going on in them movies. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Late at night, he's sitting alone inside of his mama's closet. What is he doing? Why is he there?
What's his name? The movie that we've all been waiting for. Ifatunde on 13th Street on Monday.
You gotta say Monday. You can't say Friday the 13th.
Monday the 13th. Nightmare. Nightmare in Mama's Closet. Hold on. Coming next month, right in time for Halloween. Nightmare in Mama's Closet. Monday the 13th. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
He's clapping because he's ready to do the most devious deeds imaginable inside of his mama's closet. He has potatoes in their family. He has incense in their family. He has books on everything Africa.
All right. All right, let's get back to it. I apologize. I couldn't help myself. Here we go.
Baltimore, my Virginia, my Carolina Africans, my Tennessee Africans, my St. Louis Africans, brothers and sisters. It's your big brother, King Kong. I'm not going to keep you too long. We still in the war zone.
Where is the mama?
I don't even. I'm going too far. I apologize. That's not funny. That's not funny.
Where is the mama? Is she safe?
No, let me stop. That's too far. Okay. I apologize. Let's get back to
brothers
it.
and sisters. Let the haters hate. We going to liberate.
All right.
Let the haters hate. We going to liberate. Brothers and sisters, hit the PayPal for FDMG, PayPal.
There we go. He need that money. I mean, this guy, he does a roll call, and at the 2-minute mark, right at the 2-minute mark, he start getting to begging. He said, let me get this roll call in. At least let me do that before I start begging. Let me get a little of this roll call. Here we go.
Me/FDMG Academy.
I'm taking off tomorrow.
PayPal.
We live stream again tomorrow, y'all.
Me/FDMG Academy. I love you too, my beautiful African queen. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. We got a new email address. If you need to reach me by email, it is Prince of Pan Africanism at gmail.com. That is Prince of Pan Africanism at gmail.com. We spell Africa with a K.
See, Umar trying to delete evidence and shit.
We spell Africa with a K. Checks and money orders, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. FDMG Academy, checks and money orders, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware. 19809 telephone number if you need to text me. I miss you too, my beautiful African queen. I miss you too. If you need to text me, +1 215 989 9858. +1 215 989 9858. +1 215 989 9858. I want to talk to black parents real quick about special education. First of all, shout out to all the black queens forever, snow bunnies never. The anthem will never change. The anthem will never die. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Shout out to all my queens with their own natural hair. Where are the queens at rocking their own natural hair? Rocking their own natural hair.
There you go. Shout out to Cook Crush Chat 2 at 1,700 people. I appreciate you all. I love y'all too. Thank y'all for being patient with me. I really appreciate it. Let's go.
Rocking their own natural hair. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. From butter almond to butter pecan.
Here
From
you go.
sweet brown sugar to butterscotch. African vanilla to dark brown sugar.
Is he going to say hot fudge? Let's see. Pina colada. We're gonna see.
Oh yes, and everything in between. That deep chocolate African fudge. Where them deep chocolate?
Get the one. The real question is if he gonna say African lemonade? Is he gonna say pina? He loves saying the pina colada. Let's see.
African fudge queens at? Where
What's
those
up, Jonathan?
deep chocolate African fudge queens
Here
with
we
the
go.
all natural
Hey,
hair?
see him,
Where the
Kurt?
butter almond queens and the butter pecan queens with the all natural hair? Where the butterscotch and lemonade and African vanilla queens with the all
I told y'all I did not hit the two. He loves saying African lemonade and the pina colada. I don't even know what that means. What's African lemonade? What in the world?
natural hair?
What's up, DD?
Special ed parents, listen to me.
What's up, Chris?
As the most influential black
Say
school
my-
psychologist in American
my-
history, I got 10 things to say to you.
10 things.
As the most influential black
What's
school
up,
psychologist in
LG
American
Shay?
history, I got 10 things to say to you. As the most influential
What is
black
it, Texas?
school psychologist
That
in
was
American
crazy.
history, I got
Peanut
10
butter,
things
caramel, butter,
to say to you.
pecan.
Number one,
10 things. Damn.
why are you still getting your sons evaluated for ADHD?
He making this up on the spot. What's
Why
up,
are
Nate?
we still getting our sons evaluated for ADHD? ADHD is about
50.
drugs.
Here we go.
ADHD is about drugs.
What's up, Jonathan Kid?
ADHD is about drugs. Why medicate your babies? Adderall,
Umar has ADHD too, by the way.
Concerta, Strattera, Cyclert, Ritalin. Why are we medicating black boys in service of white domination? Can somebody explain this to Prince of Pan Africanism? Can somebody explain this to the king of black consciousness? Can somebody explain this to the most requested black scholar in the world? Can somebody explain this to the most relevant Pan Africanist in the Western Hemisphere since the right excellent, most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey? Can somebody explain this to the most credentialed leader of the black conscious movement? Why are we still medicating black boys in the service of white domination? They got psychiatric drugs in South Africa now. They got psychiatric drugs in England. They got psychiatric.
What you mean now? But anyway, Umar, he's reverting back to his old talking points because he's trying to get money out of people. So he's going to rehashing, maybe he'll be rehashing different talking points from the past, but one of his permanent talking points was dealing with the ADHD, special education, misdiagnoses in the school to prison pipeline. Okay, that was early Umar. Okay, he's veered way beyond that. He mainly talks about sex and crushing cookies and these days, but he's going back to his old talking points here. Okay,
drugs in Paris, France, psychiatric drugs in Australia. Your child don't need medication to get an education. Please stop it. Your child don't need medication to get an education. Please stop it. Your child don't need medication to get an education. Please stop it, brothers and sisters. They don't need no drugs. They need attention. They need to be challenged in the classroom. They need to be loved at home. Big reason why we got so much so-called ADHD. Big reason why we got so much so-called ADHD. Ain't no discipline in your home. Too much artificial food in your home. Too much video gaming in your home. Too much cell phoning in your home. Too much social media in your home. That's what this is about. He don't have ADHD. He has I don't care to learn disorder. Let me say that again. He don't have ADHD. He has I don't care to learn disorder, brothers and sisters. It's not that he can't pay attention. He don't want to pay attention. It's not that he can't pay attention. He don't want to pay attention. It's not that he can't pay attention.
he just gives such horrible advice too, by the way.
He don't want to pay attention, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. The children are raising themselves. They want to know why they got to go to school when my mama going to do everything for me anyway. They want to know why I got to go to school.
Yeah, this is Umar. He's projecting right here.
My grandmama going to do everything for me anyway. Why I got to go to school? My daddy going to do everything for me anyway. Why I got to go to school for? Stop drugging the babies. Stop drugging the babies. The only purpose of the ADHD evaluation is medication. The only purpose for an ADHD evaluation is medication. The only purpose for an ADHD evaluation is medication. You want me to come to Utah, Maya? Set it up. I'm ready for Utah. Set it up, Sister Maya. King Kong ain't been to Utah yet. King Kong ain't been to Wyoming yet. King Kong ain't been to Maine yet. North Dakota, South Dakota. I ain't been there yet. Set it up, Maya. Set it up. No rice, no ice, no spice, no sand, no salsa. I'm going to say it again. No rice, no ice, no spice, no sand, no salsa. If you ain't building a school, you can't talk to me about our school, brothers and sisters. If you ain't building a school, you can't talk to me about our school. See, I need you to understand something about King Kong consciousness. 15 years, number one. 15 years, number one. You can't hate the title away. If you want the title, you got to take the title. You're trying to slander the title away. You can't slander the title away. You got to take the title, my ninja.
There you go.
Here's what you need to understand. I do not respond to anybody with questions about FDMG if you are not a donor or if you have not done more for the race than I have. I'm going to say it again. If you are not a donor or if you have not done more for the African race than I have, I don't answer your questions. You Tubians can't ask me shit because you don't do anything but sit on the internet and talk shit. Struggle streamers can ask.
He's so upset. But see, and again, I haven't been live streaming on Umar. It's been close to a month, but it's amazing that he calls people struggle streamers. We got, I think it was close to 1,800 people during this live stream. We're down at 1,772. I don't have a lot of subscribers either. I think I have like 80,000. But Umar has over 1 million followers on Instagram. And during this live stream that he did in his car, in his rental car, in the parking lot, he didn't even get over, he couldn't even get to 600. And he's not even monetized. He hasn't monetized anything. So this idea of a struggle streamer, he's a true struggle streamer. He doesn't have his own home. He doesn't have his own car. He doesn't have his own vehicle. He doesn't have a job. The list goes on and on and on. See, but he wants to call everybody else a struggle streamer. Let's keep going. But he's upset, though. I think he's probably been sitting back watching a lot of the commentary, not so much mine, but there's a lot of other people who've been criticizing Umar recently. Here we go.
Ask me shit. You don't do nothing but sit on the internet and make money off my name. I'm feeding your damn family.
I think this is Umar. I think he's trying to take shots at me right here. But let me be clear about something. Umar, I have a job. See, I don't have to get online. See, the thing is, Umar, you can't stay off a line for an extended period of time. And then when you come back, you have to get to begging like you're doing in this video. Now, to be clear, when I do these live streams, since I've been covering Umar, I haven't asked for a dime. I did a whole documentary on Umar. I didn't ask for a dime. I'm working on another documentary. It's even, it's overwhelming, the amount of work that's going into this. Have I asked for a dime? No. So what have I been doing over the last 3.5, almost 4 months? Well, I've been working my job and taking a break, cleaning up the house, stuff like that. See, but Umar, you don't have a job. You have to come online to beg people for money. Okay. And again, let me be clear about something. There was a point where I needed help and I got the help, but you can't just do that for the rest of your life. You got to fucking step up to the plate. And either you do it or you don't. Well, I stepped up to the plate. I stepped up to the plate. And I worked my ass off. And I should. There's nothing special per se. But Umar, you have to come back online, not because you have an uplifting message for black people, not to update people on this fake funky school of yours called FDMG. You come online specifically to beg for money. And none of it's going, and the money that you get, none of it's going towards your family. Where's your fucking family? How about let's start there, Umar. Where's your family at, you alpha male? Where's your wife? You living off of your mama. You got some nerve. Hit the one. You got some nerve. Sitting up here in a rental car looking bummy and shit. Real talk. It looked like you parked in like, you know, in the parking lots, the different level parking lot. Why? Umar, why don't you go do a live stream at your house, homeboy? Huh? Again, Umar, he spins so many false narratives. See? And one of the false narratives is that I do Umar videos to feed my family. No, I work my job to feed my family. What are you talking about? And I can step away for a month and I'm fine. I can step away tomorrow for another month if I wanted to, but we're gonna live stream tomorrow. It'll probably be earlier on, maybe earlier on in the day. Okay. I just want to be clear about this. Umar, you should not be speaking about any man, period, because you're not one. But you definitely shouldn't be speaking about another man's family because you don't have one. Isn't that interesting? You've never had one. I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to be careful with how I'm saying. Umar's daughter, his oldest daughter, is homeless right now. Does Umar give a shit? Don't speak on another man's family when you don't have one, Umar. I mean, you don't even have it in your heart to try to help your daughter who's out there struggling in them streets, literally. And you don't even give a shit. What kind of man? What kind of father? And obviously you're not a husband. So, Umar, all of this anger and aggression that we can sense in you, it's a reflection of the disappointment that you should have in yourself, but does not register because your ego is so huge. And you don't want to come to grips with the fact that you're the ultimate failure in life. How is it that people have given you over $1.6 million since 2019 and you're homeless in 2025? And unwilling to work a job. And all the money that you've collected has not gone towards your family or to your children outside of child support, where they put you on. Yeah, you've been arrested for that too, Umar, for not paying child support. See, it's amazing. I can take a break for 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks, and Umar's still mad about me live streaming about him almost a month ago. Here we go.
How many struggle streamers I'm feeding? How many struggle streamers I'm giving them money for Christmas?
Yeah, let me explain something. Let me explain how working works, Umar. You ain't giving shit to nobody. You're a taker. See, you don't even put together some sort of a presentation when you get in here live streaming, struggle streaming inside of these rental cars that the donors paid for. You just get up there and you start running off the mouth. ADHD. Just one topic, then you go to another topic, then you start getting mad, you get belligerent, start yelling and screaming and cursing at people and calling people names. You're like a big old child. But you don't come with no presentation. You don't have an agenda. See, I had an agenda. I know sometimes we get blown off, but I have an agenda. I know we're going to get into blah, blah, blah. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. And yeah, I got this other bit I'm going to pull up in just a moment just to show you guys an important point about Umar. Give me a month. Now give me a couple of minutes on that. I was doing that on my paperwork over here, pulling it up. This document right here of notes is 242 pages, 46,979 words. Umar, you don't know what work is. So you're not giving anyone anything. So let's be clear about that. You're a taker. You beg and you beg and you beg. And see, you don't have enough sense or self-awareness, which is the real issue, to say, okay, I need to stop begging. I need to get my shit together. But instead, you keep begging, and then somehow magically you're giving people something somehow. No, let me explain to you how work works, Umar. Okay? You do something. You engage in an action. You do something, you engage in an action, and as a consequence, that action, what you do is going to come with some sort of benefit. And it could be social benefit. It could be personal benefit. It could be economical, we could say financial benefit, what have you. Now, when I do my shows here, I don't ask for any money. But I work my ass off when I do these shows. It's not just about watching Umar videos. It's about the entertainment value. It's about the engagement in the Cook Chat. Shout out to Cook Chat on the video. It's about reading, the super chats, so forth and so on. It's not even so much about the Umar Johnson video. So Umar, let's be clear about this. I don't mean to say it this way, but this is what comes to mind. This is how you be talking. You ain't nothing but a jump off, homeboy. Your videos are nothing more than a jump off. It's a springboard that we jump off. That's all it is. Don't take it the wrong way. That's all it is. So let's be clear about that. But you can't just come and talk about something unless you have the research, unless you put in the time. If I wanted to pull up a video, or if I wanted, okay, well, I don't know when he said this, blah, blah, blah. He was talking about ADHD, but he actually admitted that he had ADHD. I'm gonna pull it up in just a moment. He said ADHD don't exist, but I'm saying he has ADHD. Okay, where is that video? Let me go find it. April 18th of 2015. And if you want to get good at this, you got to put the time in. You got to build the community. You have to do the research. And that takes work. See, and because of the work and then because of the Cook Chat, what it's become, because of the engagement, because of the humor, because of the laughter, the entertainment value, okay, we got 1,800 people here. And that's great, wonderful. I'm thoroughly appreciative. This video will probably get about 25,000 views. But it doesn't happen without the work. And if it's just about playing an Umar video where I can play an Umar video with no commentary, you think people are going to want to watch that shit? No, there's people who they don't even want to watch Umar unless we get together in the Cook Chat, hit the one. A lot of people can't stand you, Umar. They can't sit through one of your videos. Yeah, and then you get people that complain all the time. Well, then you keep talking. Well, shit, go on Instagram and go watch the bullshit or go by yourself. You keep pausing it. You keep running off. Well, that's my show. That's what I'm going to do. That's what we're going to do this month. I have a video of Umar doing. He was going crazy on that chair doing like that. Where did my earbud go? It dropped down. So, oh, here it is. Okay. I apologize for my little rant there. Okay. I got a little King Kong on it. All right, let's get back to angry Umar. Okay, but I'm going to come back to the ADHD point in just a moment. Here we go.
So I don't answer no questions from anybody who don't donate, ain't done more than me. If you ain't building no institutions, you can't ask me.
Okay, Umar, you haven't built an institution. You don't even have your own apartment. You're 51 years old. You don't even have an apartment, bro. Cut it out.
Shit. If you ain't building no institutions, you can't ask me shit.
Why he so mad? I mean, he was offline for such a long time. He just come back mad.
Now, number 2.
Here we go. He got 10
Do
points.
not sign any paperwork if you haven't read it and don't agree with everything in it.
Okay.
Don't sign any paperwork, black mothers and fathers.
That's some good
Don't
advice.
sign it if you haven't read it. Don't sign it if you don't understand it. We done been through this before, but y'all don't listen.
Excuse me. There you go. He's so
I done
mad.
gave you these rules before, but y'all don't listen.
He got some nerve. He over here talking bad about it. Thank you, Erica. Y'all enjoy this channel? Let me know if y'all enjoy this channel. Hit the one. Umar, why he so? I mean, he's basically talking. Now he's gonna talk. He gonna talk shit. And my daughter's over here getting food. Talk shit about black people.
I don't know what is wrong with you. Listen.
What's up, Radiant Shadow?
No disrespect to the Rainbow Nation.
What are you talking about, Rainbow?
No disrespect, but Rainbow Nation,
I'm
gonna need you to keep your army off my page. No disrespect. Do you?
Umar, what are you talking about? K is my name, anonymous.
I'm sick and tired of y'all trying to force your way of life on other people who.
Wait, what are you talking about? You see the ADHD with this guy? He was talking about don't sign the contract or the paperwork unless you understand that all he talked about the rainbow with the, I don't know what he's talking about. What is he talking? What is going on here? Thanks to everyone who hit that one in the chat room, Cook Crush chat. I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all enjoying this show. Sitting in the dark, huffing and puffing. that sound like a song. Sitting in the dark, huffing and puffing. I don't know what to do. Sitting in the dark, huffing and puffing. I'm just waiting for you. Pina colada, hot fudge, warm salt, peanut butter. Sitting all alone in my room, in my rental car. So, I don't know. I just making up some bullshit. All right. All right. Let's get back to it. Here we go.
Don't want nothing to do with it. I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I love you. But I do not condone, nor will I ever, the way that you
go, Melissa.
To each his own.
So what, Umar? Why are you talking about this right now? You were just talking about the paperwork. Now you all of a sudden you going in on the LGBTQ or whatever.
To each his own, but don't bring the shit to me. That's all.
Okay, all right.
If you're not a Pan Africanist, I'm not going to bring it to you, right?
Okay.
Muslims don't bring their doctrine to the Christians because Christians don't want to hear it. Christians don't bring their doctrine to the Muslims because the Muslims don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us who belong to the traditional African romantic society, those of us who belong to the traditional African romantic society, we don't want to entertain it. We don't want to talk about it. We never going to condone it. So just move on with your life.
Why don't you move on with your life, Umar? What are you talking about?
Just move on with your life.
Where's your wife at, Umar? See, it's all a moot point at the end of the day. You can talk about, and listen. Real talk, I don't know much about the LGBTQ. I don't. And I'm honest about that. Okay? The lesbians, I love the lesbians. I love them. Whatever your sexual orientation, it don't matter to me. Especially the ones that dress in the suits. I love y'all. I support y'all. The gays, not so much. I mean, I don't know, I don't, it's not that I don't like you. It's just, I'm just playing. I just want to make a point here. The point is, Umar, if it doesn't matter to you, why do you have to go here? Furthermore, why does it even matter? Because at the end of the day, as a heterosexual male, Umar, as you claim to be, you have not committed to a heterosexual female, established a long-standing heterosexual relationship with that female, let alone married that said female, let alone raised a family with said female, heterosexual. So, logically, therefore, Umar, outside of your sexuality, what difference are you? What difference do you bring to the equation based upon your own logic compared to a gay black male? See, at least these gay black males ain't impregnating all these black women and creating all these baby mamas like you, Umar. And you know, I do have a receipt that shows, Umar, you have a fourth baby mama that at least tried to put you on child support. Heterosexual man. See, I've been going, because I'm transferring all my files and getting all the files organized. I was supposed to do this months ago, but I have to do it as I'm putting stuff on my new computer because I got to have everything organized. See, I was sharing this computer. At first, it was mine and my son. He started using it, and all of a sudden, everything gets confused. All files all over the place. He downloads shit. I just don't download nothing. He downloads shit. The C drive was 500 gigabyte SSD drive, and I bought the thing, which was great back then, but it had like 5 gigabytes left on it. So I had to clear things up. I got another SSD 1 terabyte drive to put on. I'm gonna give him this computer, but I got my own over here. So I was going through these receipts, and I come up across this receipt that I found a long time ago, but I never brought it up because I haven't confirmed it. But I've gone through some other channels, I'm not saying too much, to verify there's a fourth baby mama. So like I said, Umar, I'm talking practically speaking. Why are you always going at the LGBT community and how they all bad and the gay males and they doing this and, you know, these black women need this, but all you do is you create broken homes. You create baby mama 1, 2, 3, 4, more than that, I'm sure. So what use are you? You sperm donor. And see, here's the thing. If that's how you're going to live, okay, then keep your mouth shut. You don't need to be speaking on what other people are doing in their bedroom. I know one damn thing, these gay males, they're not out here impregnating all these black women, not like you doing. I'm sure there's probably some that have, okay, but I'm saying that practically speaking. Anyway. All right, let's get back to it.
We're not trying to fight you. We can't stop you. We live in America. This is Rainbow Central. Just leave us the hell alone and stop trying to equate your struggle with the black struggle. Stop that.
Why is he
Stop
talking about
that.
Okay, can I play something for y'all before I forget? You know how Umar was talking about ADHD and all this other stuff, right? I've heard him say that it doesn't exist and it's just that they're lazy. The black boys are lazy and it means ain't no daddy at home disorder. Okay, let me play something for y'all. Check this out.
Okay, if Dr. Umar Johnson's daughter got an articulation error, then so be it. You got it. Right. So if speech is real, if the child needs it. But you got to be careful with speech because a lot of charter schools are saying your children got speech impairments so they can get the special ed money and nothing's wrong with your child. Okay? If you think the child is deaf or blind, get them the evaluation. Nothing wrong with that. But that learning disability, that's somebody's opinion. That can't be proven. ADHD, ain't no daddy at home disorder. That's somebody's opinion. That can't be proven. That's right, ain't no daddy at home disorder. That's all it is. You don't need no Hillary, you don't need no analog, you don't need no conservative, no sacrifice, no meditate, no whisper at all. All he needs is a mother or a father who's going to teach that boy how to act. That is it. They need love, not drugs. And we keep on giving them the drugs. How dare you give a boy the exact same drug that sent his father to jail for 10 years? Black men sell it on the corner, they call it crack. They give it to your son in a bottle, they call it rhythm. Sell it on the corner, they call it heroin. Give it to your son, they call it Metadine. Sell it on the corner, they call it opium. Give it to your son, they call it Concerta. Are you out of your mind? If drugs are bad, they're bad for everybody. Stop doing chemicals to your son. You see the criteria for ADHD? Is regular childhood behavior. Can't pay attention. Loses things necessary to get his work done. Blurts out answers. Is often on the go. Driven by a motive. That's me every day.
Yeah, that's the problem. A lot of what Umar talks about, it's really him projecting his own issues. It's very dangerous to do that. Very dangerous. Let me just play that part one more time. Listen to what he says.
Tell boy how to act. That is it. They need love, not drugs. And we keep on giving them the drugs. How dare you give a boy the exact same drug that sent his father to jail for 10 years? Black men sell it on the corner, they call it crack. They give it to your son in a bottle, they call it rhythm. Sell it on the corner, they call it heroin. Give it to your son, they call it Metadine. Sell it on the corner, they call it opium. Give it to your son, they call it Concerta. Are you out of your mind? If drugs are bad, they're bad for everybody. Stop doing chemicals to your son. You see the criteria for ADHD? Is regular childhood behavior.
Okay, watch this. Listen to exactly what he says here. This is really interesting. I remember when I found this video in my research, my jaw dropped. I said, man, this guy projects so much. Very dangerous to do that.
Can't pay attention.
That's Umar.
Loses things necessary to get his work done.
That's Umar. Lenon talked about that with Umar. He would lose things. He couldn't find things. Car keys, shit like that.
Blurts out answers. It's
Umar's always blurting out shit.
often on the go.
Yeah, Umar always on the go, never stable, doesn't even have his own home. He's traveling all over the world all the time.
Driven by a motive.
I don't know what he said, right? I think he said driven by emotion. Is that what he said? Let's see.
Stop doing chemicals to your son. You see the criteria for ADHD? Is regular childhood behavior. Can't pay attention. Loses things necessary to get his work done. Blurts out answers. Is often on the go. Driven by a motive.
Yeah, what did he say right there? Did he say driven by a motor or driven by emotion? I don't know.
That's me every day.
That is so deep right there. But I've talked about this with okay. That's what I thought I heard, Nija. What's up, Hasa? How you doing? Thanks for tuning on in. Hope you've been doing all right, sis. Anyway, Umar, he does a lot of that. He projects a lot. But even outside of him even saying this, I've already observed this in Umar's behavior. What would be classified as ADHD. And the thing is that it's not extraordinary. Furthermore, I should say that ADHD is on the spectrum too. It's not like you're ADHD or you're not. It's like there's different tiers to that. It's not what I'm getting at is it's not extraordinary. The idea is that if you have ADHD, wherever you're at on the spectrum, that you get the professional help and services that you need so that you can cope with it to be functional enough in life. And there's plenty of people who are extremely successful and extremely functional in life, and they have ADHD. You guys know that? So I don't mean to make it seem as if it's not relevant. What I'm saying is that with the appropriate guidance, the appropriate, I don't even know what the term would be. I don't want to say therapy, but it's life skills and coping mechanisms. That's really what I'm getting at. You could be an extremely productive member of society. But see, Umar, with the arrogance and the ego, and then also saying that it doesn't exist. See, that's just his way of not really dealing with it within himself. That's very dangerous to do that. See, Umar, if you want to be a coward about it, just be a coward about it. But don't spew all this bullshit to other people and tell them that their child doesn't have it or blah, 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 when in fact they may have it or they do have it. And then that's going to dissuade these parents from getting the appropriate professional services that the children need. That's very dangerous on Umar's part. It's selfish too. All right, let's get back to the video. Here we go.
Right to engage in non-traditional romantic relations has nothing to do
Why is he bringing this up?
with black people fighting for the right to be black. I'm going to say it again. I
yeah, I'll pull that up.
don't care who don't like it. Fighting for the right to engage in non-traditional relations ain't got nothing to do with black people's right and fight for the right to exist.
What are you talking about?
Now, let me get back to the black parents. Number 3.
He said 10 points. Here we go.
Strong alpha male. Send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com.
See, this is also could be a symptom of ADHD. Just ADHD. It could just be on a different level of the spectrum where it gets into hoarding. He accidentally flipped his phone and he was living in absolute filth. And then he gets the lying right after. Watch this.
.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com is what we're looking for. My thing is y'all need to, what happened? I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware, so the apartment.
See, he never moved to Wilmington, Delaware. This was his last residence in 2019. After that, towards the end of 2019 through 2020. Yeah, I think it was all the way through 2020. Or was it towards the end of 2020? He moves in with his mama. You see him live streaming inside his mama closet. I can find out for sure because I have it. But you can see the hoarder-like situation. Obviously, there's some aspect of ADHD here as well.
It's a mess right now. Y'all don't need to see all that.
Yeah, he never moved.
I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware.
He still hasn't moved to Wilmington, Delaware. 6 years later, almost 6 years later.
I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware.
Mm-hmm. Because it isn't hoarding an aspect of OCD. Yeah, but then also things being displaced and not being organized. That's an aspect of ADHD. Umar, he has those issues severely.
I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware.
Yeah, one more time.
Strong alpha male. Send those resumes in. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com. FDMG resumes at gmail.com is what we're looking for. My thing is y'all need to, what happened? I'm in the process of relocating.
Yeah, and a lot of these things that he had in here, he ended up moving into the large gym. And he turned that into a hoarding spot. And then the small gym, he's turned that into a hoarding spot too. It's all kind of shit in there. Used to be clean.
To Wilmington, Delaware, so the apartment is a mess right now. Y'all don't need to see all that. I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware. I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware. I'm in the process of relocating to Wilmington, Delaware.
Damn. And then this was in 2019. He gets evicted out of here. A lot of struggles took place in Umar's life once he stopped working consistently back in 2010. Yeah, 2010. So everything, again, even where he's at today, all this leads up to where he's at today. The point I want to make is that in 2019, he gets evicted, and then he's living in and out of hotel, motel rooms for many months off of donors' money. And then by the time we get to 2020, and I got to get the exact, I want to say towards the middle of 2020. I can find out for sure, so don't quote me on that. We see him, he starts live streaming inside his mama closet. And this is a video right here that was sent to me. Shout out to the person who did, from 2020. Check this out. And this is inside of his mama's closet right here.
Clothes I got to handle. Who tapping in?
See, he flipped the phone. He was doing a live stream and he flipped the phone. And here you have again the OCD, the ADHD, and the hoarder aspect. Walls all dirty. This is inside of his mama's closet. Now, there are people who said, well, why would a closet have windows? No, I get that. I say, I'm sorry, this fly. I say mama's closet because at this point it's funny. It is. Okay. And I'm going to keep saying this shit because it's shit's funny. Say, well, Lenon, you said you're fair with him. Yeah, but fuck all that. We're going to call it a closet. See, a mama closet, don't nothing roll off the tongue like a mama closet. You know what I'm saying? All right. But more, it's more likely that what it is, it's the washer and dryer room. And it's not even a room, it's a closet. You guys know you got a little thing with washer dryer in there, and then that's what it is. That's what I think it is. But I didn't know that until more recently, and so I called it a mama closet. So that's what it's gonna be, the mama. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit. It's gonna be 2028, and I'm gonna still call it mama closet. All right. But what happened is this sabotage. What happened was that Umar, instead of having a washer and dryer in there, he's turned it into his own little personal storage, and he would go in there and live stream. Now, let me explain something to y'all, because this corroborates with what Lenon was saying. Part of Umar's issue is he also suffers with paranoia, and again, paranoia could be on the spectrum too. But in my opinion, Umar, he has extreme paranoia, extreme. So he doesn't want to live stream anywhere where someone could hear him, like a neighbor or anything like that. So what does he do? He live streams inside the little washroom, the little wash and dry room. It's not even a room. That's where he live stream at. Part of it is the paranoia, but you see, he had all kind of shit. He had a sack of potatoes, and there's a sack of potatoes in there. I kid you not. You see down in the corner, it's like a potato and a sack of potato. He got beard oil on one side, and he got an Egyptian book, and then he got the tripod stick in the middle, and then he got a pinkish box, and then he got right next to that is a sack of potato. Damn. Listen, that's a closet. I just don't understand why someone would store a sack of potatoes inside of a closet. That's crazy. And listen what Umar say, how he try to play it off.
Who we got next tapping in? Who we got next tapping in? Who we got next tapping in?
See, reading the comments.
Who we got next tapping in?
I used to love that movie. Our kids, we used to watch that all the time. Yeah, Michael, it's crazy. You got the potato.
Cornel West is running for president. I heard he left. The party he was with. He going with another one. Refolding my clothes, family. It's all natural. Just got a couple clothes I got to handle. Who tapping in?
You see that? Just like when he flipped the phone at his apartment the year prior with all that filth and shit, he says, I'm in the process of moving. No. And no, you ain't. Listen, this ain't got nothing to do right here with folding no clothes, homeboy. Listen, if there's a sack of potato in the way of the clothes and trash bags and shit. There ain't no clothes washing, ain't no clothes folding up and going on up in here. And why who gonna fold clothes inside of a closet? Don't nobody fold clothes in a closet. We try to get the clothes out and get some space, right? Umar don't know nothing about that. We get some space because we want to spread it out so we can find shit, put it, you know what I'm saying? But Umar, he just throw shit, trash bags, potato, shit, beard oil. Yeah, I'm a live streamer here. Yeah, I'm comfortable with this one. I'm a strong. You know what I'm saying? And Umar, let me be clear about something. And it's nobody's responsibility to get that closet, your mama closet cleaned out but you. I don't know what you waiting on. Filthy. I just don't like that. That shit got to be clean. I can't help it. I couldn't even start this show without just cleaning up this desk. My son, he been using his computer more. This is now. After tonight, I'm giving it to him. So he can move it back up into his room, and I got my new computer up over here. Yeah. It's a beast. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let me do some super chats. Then we're going to start winding this down. We're going to be back tomorrow for sure. See, what has he done for the African race? Umar's idea, the whole idea with this whole Africa thing, I think there's different tiers. One of the things is Umar, he wants to try to appear to be a Pan Africanist because one of the people that he tries to emulate, he wants to be is Marcus Garvey. Right. So that's one of the things here. Another aspect of this is that Umar, he wants to try to present himself as this great Pan Africanist. And you can't really do that if you're not dealing with Africans or people over in Africa. Umar spent about 2 years where he was really pushing this whole Africa talk and all this kind of stuff. And he even went to this conference, I can't remember what it was, some African conference or something. It was in New York. He went there and he spoke. They were looking at him like he was crazy because he's yelling and screaming and shit. Then he talked about what he says, the repatriation movement back to Africa. Well, that's a source out of Marcus Garvey. He said he was going to build Black Wall Street over in Africa. He said he was going to open up the school in Africa, different places in Africa. So that fits this desire for Umar to want to be Marcus Garvey. It goes all the way back to his UNIA days. But the other thing, I think the preeminent thing for Umar is that he recognizes that if he can, the more people he can pull into his net, then the more people he can manipulate and exploit. So if he can get Africans to come on board, then he can exploit them some way, somehow, too, financially or otherwise. Okay, obviously over here in the United States of America with Black people, African American people, he's been doing that for decades now. But he wanted to spread that net out. In fact, not only did he spread it out to Africa, then he started to say things like European Africans or German Africans or my Norwegian African. So he's really trying to push that net further and further out because the way that he approaches this is that the more people he can get into that net, the more there's going to be a conversion rate. He can turn that into money, getting money out of people. But at the end of the day, what has Umar done for the African race? Umar has not done anything outside of run his mouth. I'll propose that Umar has done, I'm not going to say he hasn't done anything, but he has done very little for Black people here in the United States of America. I will say this, that he's taken more than he's given. I'll say that. Yep. Elias says, I heard Umar was starting an OnlyFans account called Musty. That's crazy. Musty Cheeks. Must have a strong jaw. Oh, no. Must have a strong jaw to subscribe. We're going to leave that one right there. But I'm going to tell y'all something, because people were talking about that he was going to open up his OnlyFans. That was years ago when maybe he said it more recently. I don't know. But he said that years ago. Some of you guys remember from back in the day, Hit the One. He was talking about how he was going to set up an OnlyFans. But Umar, he set up different things. I don't know if he ever did it or not. But again, Umar setting up these different accounts and all this stuff, that's more about like trying to cast a larger net. I really just stay on YouTube. I have Instagram, but I don't really use it. I have Facebook. I don't really use it. I just stick with YouTube because I don't have time to be monitoring and posting and all that kind of stuff. I did when I was younger, but not these days. But with Umar, he'll throw all kinds of stuff out there. He had the Big Papa podcast for a while. He had Umar, Dr. Umar TV or some shit like that. He's had all kind of stuff, right? Yeah, but anyway, that was years ago. I don't know if he's brought it up again. I wouldn't be surprised. He's always trying to find a new way to get money out of people. Thank you, Elias, for the super chat. The most influential in history is pure delusion. Yeah, that's part of Umar with his narcissism. He really overstates his accomplishments. His sense of grandiosity is way over the top. He feels as if he's so great, but if you look at his life, and I'm just being honest here, and I'm not here to disparage Umar, at least right now, I'm not. His life is in shambles, and he's a perpetual failure, and yet he believes that he's all these great things. I think that part of it too, Kadar, is for Umar mentally, it's easier for him to live in this delusional state where he sees himself as this great Pan Africanist leader, most requested scholar, blah blah blah, than to deal with the fact that he's living off his mama, who's on Section 8 housing and is bedridden at the age of 51 and doesn't have shit to show for it. You know, they have his own car, doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a wife. He's a deadbeat, don't take care of his kids. He has at least 3 baby mamas. I have 4. At least 4 baby mamas in Pennsylvania. Well, let me restate that. Not that I have 4 over in Pennsylvania. Shit. Umar has, based upon my research, he has at least 3, but the research is leaning towards, and really it is showing that Umar has 4. You know, he's always online begging. He always wants people to do stuff for him for free. His life is in shambles. And I think it's a lot worse than what we realize too, because there's a lot of shit that be going on that we just simply don't know about. We're just dealing with the tip of the iceberg. But for Umar, I think it's easier for him mentally to just go with this illusion that he's great, because dealing with where he's really at in life, it's just too painful for him to bear, especially with the extreme ego that he has. Yeah. Thanks, Kadar. The school is done for this academic. Yeah, here's the thing, Matt. Umar said that the school was going to open September of 2025. He's already changed that date, but the point is that even the dates that Umar is giving for these potential openings, it doesn't even make sense. Why would you start school in September? It doesn't correlate to the regular school year. Why would you do that? And then he was supposed to be January of 2025. He also said February of 2025. Why would you start school in January or in February for that matter? It just doesn't make any sense. But again, he lives in this delusional state. Yeah, there is no school. I don't even know if Umar updates people in this video or not. We'll probably get to finish the rest of it tomorrow, but this video tomorrow. But the point is that FDMG, it's not. There's nothing real about it. It's a figment of Umar's imagination, and there are people who still believe that somehow he's going to open up a school. He's not interested in opening up a school. He just wants money. I've been telling people this for years. Right. Thank you, Matt. Staff says happy Tune Day. Muga make Umar grift again. Well, staff, he's back at it. Okay, he had to come back to beg for some money and get mad at people. You know, he just gets mad and starts taking shots at me. Umar, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal, really. I mean, let me just tell you what you need to do. I've told you many times. You need to come forward to the people. Okay, go take a shower, go get dressed up. Okay, go get a podium. I have one right here we'll get into that at another time. Just get yourself a podium, okay? And set your camera on a tripod and come humbly to the people with complete honesty and say, hey, listen, this FDMG school, it's not going to happen. And I can admit that at this point. There's just been too many things going on. And don't blame other people. You know, hold yourself accountable. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. I tricked off the money. I didn't give a fuck. Just send me the shit. Ho. Don't say it like that. But that's what the message. I'm sorry. I kind of went a little too far on that. But basically say that, but say it in a nice way. Okay. Y'all my bitches. Give me my money. Okay. No. What you say is, listen, I'm not going to pimp you any. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to accept any more donations for this school. Now, if you want to send money to me personally so that I get up, get back on my feet, then I'd appreciate that. But this FDMG thing is not going to happen. What I want to do is I'm going to sell these buildings and get as much as I can for these buildings. And I'm going to issue donations. I'm not going to keep any of the money. I'm going to issue donations to people until all that money is sent back to as many people as I can. I can't send it back to everyone because I spent money on this. I spent money on this. I spent money. Just be honest with people. I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I wasn't honest with people. I lied about this. I lied about the HVAC. I lied about the purchase price. I lied about this. I lied about that. You know, and and you know, I'm gonna tell you, Umar, a lot of people, they're gonna go in on you. And real talk, I'm gonna be one of them. No, I'm just playing. I wouldn't do that. If you really came to the people, it'd be hard not to, but if you really came to the people with sincerity like that, and you just really told the truth, you're going to lose a lot of people, but then you're going to gain a lot of respect from people, and people are going to look for your success as a person, not as this mythical black leader, because that's a bunch of bullshit anyway. You ain't no black leader. You're a bum. You're a pookie. Okay, you're a baby mama creator. All of the worst stereotypes about black men, you epitomize, Umar. You're fucking lazy. You're lazy. How are you going to live off your mama? I'm sorry, but you living off your mama at 51? That's some diabolical shit right there, homeboy. But come to the people and just be honest with them. You know, I tricked off the money. I was gambling and shit. I was paying hoes. You know, I know you don't got to say it that way, but just, you know, you understand what I'm saying? I ate a lot of cheesecake and a lot of Twizzlers and cheesecakes and Seagrams and a lot of Haagen-Dazs ice cream in the hotel room, and start doing your hand all moist and shit like you be doing. You know how you be doing that. Yeah, you know, do all that and come to the people and be honest about it and be sincere about it. And what you'll find is that there'll be some people that are going to go in on you, but I wouldn't be one of them. What I would do is I would root for you at that point to get you, and then tell people, listen, I'm going to get myself checked into rehab, and you know, I'm going to get the help that I need, the mental health help that I need, because I've been struggling with a lot of issues, and I want to start getting all that under control too. And with the rest of the time I have on this earth, I want to be an example to black boys and black men of someone who had to humble himself and get his life turned around. I'm going to go through these steps to do my best to get my life turned around. And I've been telling you this for years, Umar. That's what you got to do. And the weight was such a huge weight to be lifted off of your shoulders. And you'll be able to breathe again. Because you suffocating with this FDMG shit and scamming and scheming and skeezing. You a skeezer. Living like a freak at the age of 51. What kind of... Anyway, that's what you need to do. I'm sorry, staff. I don't know how I got in that. Happy Toon Day. All right. Let's see. Thanks for the super chat, staff. Kadar says he's had 50 emails. Yeah, but see, I think that part of it is that Umar, he thinks, at least in his own mind, if I get rid of these emails while I was doing all this crazy shit and scamming people, that somehow that can't be tracked or it can't be pulled back. No, all that's saved on servers, Umar. Cut it out. Goofy. That's what I think. Thank you, Kadar. Hey, Mistress Monica, how you doing? Says Lenon, you got to create a scary movie promo with Umar wearing all his. I know I could do it too. I could do it. Here we go.
Late at night, he sits in his mama's closet. He's thinking about chitlins.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say chitlins. I meant to say Twizzlers. All right.
Who is this masked man? And why on earth is he living in his mama's closet? He wears masks, and it's not even Halloween. He begs for money Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. His name is Umar Johnson.
All right. Thanks, Mrs. Monica, for the super chat. I hope you're doing all right. Okay, did I get to everybody? We got some new members. Thank you so much. Rocky Dasaki became a member. And Laurie, thank you so much, Laurie. How you doing? Gifted 5 memberships. I was going to say LenonHonor membership, but I don't like saying my name. It sounds weird. Okay. It says my YouTube page is LenonHonor, but I don't like saying that because it sounds weird saying my own name. So thank you, Laurie, for that. And whoever received those memberships, make sure you take the time to thank Laurie. Very nice and gracious of you. Thank you so much. Okay, we still got about 1,900 people in the building. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. We'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Well, we're not done yet. We're going to go for maybe another 15 minutes. Thanks, Laurie. And Helping Handy became a member. Thank you so much. Katavet says, when people like Umi hit their... Okay, yeah, this was early. This is a really good point. Yeah, this is really... I mean, for Umar, this could be a point where he can really look deeply and say, hey, listen, this is... I got to make some change here. And hopefully he'll come to that realization. Okay? We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, I did this earlier. I got us loaded off. Thank you, Kadar. The Smart Barbie says, Umar, 50 years old and still got to sneak girls past the living room. Yeah, well the thing is that Lene, in her interactions with Umar's mother, stated that Umar's mother was aware that Umar was having women come through and having sex with the women at her house. I mean, it's Section 8 housing. Furthermore, if memory serves me correctly, Umar Johnson's nephew corroborated that. Yeah, he did. He corroborated that. It's just horrible to be living like that. It just goes to show you no respect for his mother, but also as a man, no respect for yourself. You know, it's just no respect whatsoever. The mother's bedridden, and you bringing women through there and running through them. That ain't right. Ain't nobody said that's not right on any sense. And she's Christian too, based on what Umar said and Lene said. And y'all men, you know the women when the mama, it could be that their mama or your mama, they don't want to be doing nothing. I don't know why. It's true. Man, you know what I'm talking about? Hit the one. At first, I didn't get it. I still don't get it. I don't. I mean, what? I don't want him to hear it. So what? Let him hear it. That's how I was born. Did you think my mama don't know what happened to me? They know I'm all about that. That's why you here. What you talking about? Anyway, as men, we have to, capitulate on that and be understanding, All right. All right. This is something I've learned. It's something I've learned over the years. All right. Man, you know what I'm talking about? It's annoying too. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be understanding. We have to be understanding. All right. Thanks to Smart Barbie. That's actually part of his comedy skit. I just tried out a couple little things today just to kind of throw some things out there. Okay. S. Zulu official says Umar is way too sexual to ever be allowed to operate at school. I agree with this. His rhetoric is dangerous when it comes to Black children with broken homes. Love your work, Lenon. Been following for a while. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've talked about this for years, many times. That one of the most disturbing aspects of Umar is his, I don't know what the word is. I don't know if it's too strong of a word, but I'll use it here as that his infatuation with sex. It's not just that. As I think about it, it's infatuation with sexual organs. Okay, that's troubling. You guys understand what I'm saying here? See, when Umar says things like crushing cookies, he's talking about cookies being a euphemism for the JJ, the vagina. Okay, it's sexual organs. When he talks about the loosey-goosey, that means a vagina that's lost its elasticity, if you will, that it's now loose and it's a loosey-goosey. Okay, we're talking about sexual organs. So there's something going on with Umar, with the honey, what does he call them? The honey buns and the Cinnabons or whatever he says, all this kind of stuff. There's something that's really pathological and deviant about Umar when it comes to these things. And because he talks, especially these days, these more recent years, he talks about it so frequently. And what's even more disturbing is he'll be talking about FDMG, which is supposed to be a school for children, right? But then all of a sudden, ADHD, he's talking about sexual organs. He's called little girls' private parts rotten cookies. See, there's another thing too, where the sexual organs are associated with treats in Umar's mind. That's why he says things like the hot fudge cookies being a euphemism for vagina, hot fudge being associated with skin color, darker skin color. See, peanut, brown sugar, that means a brown skin vajayjay. It's like colorism plus the infatuation with colorism, infatuation with sexual organs, and in particular female sexual organs. It's very disturbing. It really is. So yeah, he should never be allowed to operate a school. I've told people this for a long time. He should never be around children alone. He should never be in control or where he's managing children. I've said this many times in the past, many times, and I totally agree with you on this. Now, let me be clear about something. As adults, talking about sex is just a part of being an adult. I've talked to my children about sex just for the sexual education before they get stuff from the school, because you just want to give them a heads up. Simple stuff. Tell my sons, listen, if you're gonna be out there, make sure you strap up, you use a condom. Okay, don't be out here getting these young ladies pregnant. Don't be out here getting these STDs. It's not worth it. Make sure if you need some, let me know. I'll get them for you, blah, 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 so forth and so on. Casual conversation, no big deal. Right? Same thing with my daughters. My wife talks to them more, but I've had to say a couple of things here and there, not too much. But the point is, as adults, that should be a normal conversation that we have. But with Umar, it's abnormal. And then also the frequency at which he speaks about these types of things and bending you over. And, do you think, I want to look at, I mean, it's just way out there, way out there. So yeah, I totally agree with you on this, S. Don. That's one of the most troubling aspects of the idea of, because it's just an idea of FDMG, that in this scenario, in Umar's mind, that if he actually opens up a school and he's called himself the headmaster, he's going to be the CEO, he's going to be the principal, all these other things. The idea of him being the person who's running this facility with these children, it's crazy. We have Umar on record saying that he wants to cuddle with the black boys by the fireside. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I mean, I can pull up all kind of shit on this. It's not normal. It's abnormal. He has no business being around children. I've said this for a long time. Thank you for the super chat. And like I said, as the adults, we should have conversations. I get that. I mean, and even joking about it, I get that. But with Umar, it's something else going on here. It's something diabolical. Okay, thank you, S. Dot, for the super chat. All right, did I get to everyone? What's up, D? That is all. Hope you're doing all right. Said, what happened to the 10 points for parents? 10 points. Oh, we'll get back to, I don't know where he's at. I think he's on point number 3 right now. But then he starts talking about all kind of other stuff. That's that ADHD with Umar. He all over the place. And then he always got to come talk about sex. He has to infuse sex in there every single time. That's just what he does. Thank you, D, as all, for being a member for 45 months. Appreciate you. Jam 7 Jack 5 says, got to pass on them studs, though. Listen, I have to say this. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't until I watched Drewski, because Umar was on there. I didn't even know what that meant. I never heard that, because that's not what the terminology we used when we was growing up. We didn't use that. The term, and I'm not going to say that I used it, but the term that some people used to use when I was around, they said butch. Same thing, because Lene said that Umar's mama said something about it called I can't remember what the term was, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And people were like, you know what that is? I said, no, I don't. I don't know what that is. We didn't use that type of term. At least where I come from Southern California. Anyway, I didn't know what that stud thing was until the Drewski show, because he had what they called themselves that. Anyway, thank you, Jam 7. Right. Miranda says ADHD is real. Some children need medication to help focus in class. I'm a certified special education teacher, and some of this stuff he says is false. He said driven by a motor. Okay, ADHD is impulsive on 10. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you for clarifying this. Yeah, it's very troubling because a lot of Umar's early videos, because I've gone, the earliest video I have on Umar, because he was talking about special education even back then was 2005. But then you see this huge gap between 2005 and I want to say 2009. Let me see here, where you don't see videos of Umar appearing online. No, I have it 2000. Okay, so 2010. So in and around 2000. So 2005. He speaks, it's at Happily Natural Day, and that's where he gets this whole happy to be nappy thing. That goes way back in 2005 with Umar, but a lot of the nappy hair and you know the colorism stuff, that goes back to his childhood. But the point is that was in 2005. I haven't been able to find any other videos in between 2005 and let's say 2006, 2007, 8, and 9, and then we start to see Umar in 2010, and that's when he was on the Chicago interview with Brother Dawa, who rest in peace. Umar took shots at him. I shouldn't say it that way. Umar went at him too. He had a falling out with Brother Dawa too. I saw that later on in my research. I was shocked by that. Anyway, the point is that you still see Umar talking about ADHD and how it doesn't exist, how it's not real, and you know all this type of thing. Umar, he stays on that talking point. A lot of his earlier videos are about that. But then what we start to see is that by the time we get into 2015, I would say maybe 2016. He's not talking about that as much. There's a shift that takes place. And then what we find that by the time Umar gets into 2019, stuff starts to get more sexualized with what he's talking about. 2018, 2019. And then now in 2025, I mean, it's very rare where he will upload a video or do a live stream where he's not talking about sex or referencing, cookies or this type of thing. So the point is that Umar's ADHD rhetoric, it goes back a long time. Part of what Umar is fascinating, the conspiracy that he's concocted, because he's a conspiracy theorist too. That's where a lot of this with Umar, the paranoia comes from. Because when I was in a conspiracy theory paradigm, I was extremely paranoid too. Okay, because it's all fear mongering. A lot of the content was fear mongering. So the point I want to make here is that with Umar, what his conspiracy was that there was the powers that be are attempting to diagnose Black children with ADHD and other things so they can medicate them, and that this is the pathway from the school to prison pipeline, and it's also emboldened through special education. That special education, that Black people children are being put in special education because that is the pathway to go from the school to the prison, right? School to prison pipeline. That's his big conspiracy. The medication is part of that too. But then I thought about it, I said, well, what about all the white children that are in special ed, that are being medicated, et cetera, et cetera? See, but that's Umar. A lot of his rhetoric early on was specifically about this. And thanks for the clarification there. He said driven by a motor. ADHD is impulsive. And Umar, he is very impulsive. I've seen that with him over the years. A lot of times when he responds to things, this is an impulse. He gets upset. With Lene, remember when he does the video talking about the fish tank? That's all impulse. He didn't think that through. I would propose that a lot of how Umar lives his life is just impulsive. Even him lying, it's an impulse. It's impulsive. His scamming. To scam, he has to be impulsive. He just go, okay, let me keep going, make up these false fake narratives. Let me spin this to get money out of people. It's all impulsive. There's not much strategy. There's no long-term thinking or planning. That's why I said earlier on that Umar, he doesn't think about, okay, if I do this, the consequence could be this. He's not looking into that consequence into the future. He's just living for the moment. Okay, well, that's part of the impulsivity. All right, thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it. Jonathan Kidd said, and thank you for the super chat too, Miranda. I appreciate it. Jonathan says, do a bidding war for likes for old times. I can't do it right now. It's too much. I gotta practice, because I remember when I first started doing those, I was real bad at it. Then I got good at it, but I haven't done it in so long that I don't want to make a fool of myself. I don't mind making a fool of myself for y'all, but I just don't want to do it. Okay, hit the one. Yeah. No, if you guys are enjoying the show, go on and hit that like button. I appreciate it. Let me look at this poll. Matter of fact, let me close this poll out. Because we're going to wind this down in about 5 minutes. We still got 1,868 people inside the Cookie Crush chat, because the Cookie Crush chat is undefeated. I'm going to tell you one thing. We might get to 1,000 likes during this live stream. That'd be a wonderful way to come get back into this. If we get to 1,000, we had 970 likes. We need 30 more likes, family, to get to 1,000. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We need to get to 979. We had 979, 979. Can we do 980? We try to get 980, 989, 995, 95, look at the thighs. Okay, 985, we had 979 likes. We're trying to get to 980, 998. We got 998 from the lady in the back. Thank you so much, 998, 999, 999, look at the thighs. How you doing? All right, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. 999, we're going to close it out right here. We're going to close it out right here. 999 likes. We need we have 1,883 people in the building, but we got 1,000. Sold. It's sold. Damn, we got to 1,000 real quick right there. Man, we'll have to start doing those again. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to mayo. Yeah, Lady Mayo. That's the way if we get to the goal. I used to say mayo. Yeah, we're gonna have to start doing those. It's sold like a slave. I'm sorry. No. I take that back. That's not funny. I apologize. I'm sorry. I went too far a couple of times tonight. I apologize. There's nothing funny about slavery. Okay, there's not. I apologize. Y'all got me acting a fool up in here. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have did it. I apologize. Sometimes I go a little too far. Sometimes I go a little too far with it. I apologize. I'll retract that and redact that. All right. Oh my God. Look at this guy. What in the world? I didn't mean to put this back up on here. Okay. We're gonna go 5 more minutes on this video. And then we're gonna close this out. We're at the 13th. Yeah, we'll go to the 15th. No, let's go to the 20-minute mark. Okay, so like 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Here we go.
Don't go to no school meetings by yourself.
Thanks to everyone in the Cook Crush chat. We did get over 1,000 likes. Let me close out this poll. The poll question is, why did Umar Johnson go silent? We had 2,147 votes. 58% said he was hiding after lying so much. That's what I think. 11% said he was on vacation in his mama's closet. Okay. 24% said he was being I'm sorry. Listen, I know. I apologize. Okay, Andrea, everybody else, I apologize. I kind of did a little too much during this live stream. But it's been a while, and I want you guys to have a good time. Okay. I miss you guys. I ain't gonna lie. Like after that first week, I was fiending. I mean, literally, I was like, damn. Should I live stream? Start shaking this shit. Hands through. But after I got through that half of that second week, I started. Okay. So I just want everyone to have a good time. All right. All right. Let me close out this poll real quick. 11% said he was on vacation in his mama's closet. 24% said he was being investigated for fraud, and 7% said he was working on FDMG. Yeah, I don't think he was working on FDMG. I'm gonna say that straight up. But I think Umar, he was in hiding because he was lying so much. He got caught in so many lies. And you guys remember, he would go live, but he wouldn't say anything. And what he was doing was he was trying to see the reaction. He wanted to see how people were responding to him. And when he would do that, there were people that were still going in on him. They were talking about Lenon, him talking crazy about Lenon. They was talking about how he was a deadbeat, he don't take care of his daughter and blah, blah, blah. So this is old stuff from earlier this year. They were talking about how he lied about his bank accounts being frozen. The story that he came up with made no sense. And, what about the cameras? You never talked about the cameras and blah, blah, blah. And did you get a lawyer and blah, blah, blah to sue Lenon and Lenon? You see what I'm saying? All this stuff. So people were going, so Umar, he had to take a step back because he had told so many lies and it blew up in his face. And so instead of coming to the people with courage, he's a coward. He would go live. He wouldn't say anything. He would just look at the comments to see. And he was kind of gauging. That's what predators do. They spend time kind of like it's not even analyzing intellectually. It's more like, look, let me get a feel for how people are seeing me right now. And then for whatever reason, today he comes back. I figure maybe he felt comfortable enough to come back. Like he's still a coward. And he does the video that we're covering here today. We'll finish the video up to tomorrow for sure. But let's get. I want to get to the 20-minute mark, so we'll have a place to start that's clear for tomorrow. Okay, still got 1,880 people here. Okay, here we go.
Don't go to any school meetings by yourself. Take the father with you. Take the mother with you. Take the grandmom. Take the uncle. Take somebody with you. Do not go to the school meeting by yourself. It is a setup.
Notice Umar, he's not going to any school meetings for any of his kids. Anyway, I had to get a Logitech Brio 4K webcam for my new computer because I couldn't get the software because the webcam I have now, it's old. I didn't realize how old it was until I was trying to get the drivers for it. And they don't even support the drivers for this one. It's decent for at least for them, but I've had it for so long I just didn't realize it. But I got the newer model. It'll be coming in the mail tomorrow, and hopefully tomorrow I have everything set up on my new computer, and we'll roll with that because I want to set all this up inside my son's room. And I'd asked him which chair he wants, and this is a lazy boy, but it's real comfortable. And then you got these other chairs, and he was like, "Oh, I want this one because it's more comfortable." I said, "Okay." My wife was like, "No, you need that one for when you're live stream so you be comfortable." I said, "No, we're gonna get him taken care of, and maybe I'll get another one of these. I don't know." At a later time, but I want to get my son set up inside his room. His room is real nice too. Thank the Lord. Real quick, over these last 3 weeks and a half, I've been doing a lot of reflection and just thinking about where I'm at these days, and then just thinking about where my family and we were at, let's say a decade ago, because I'm about to be turning 50, and I thank the Lord. Okay, because when I was a kid, I didn't think I was going to make it past 16, 17. Real talk. That's just how things were. But I remember for my 40th birthday, my wife, she threw a party and people came. It was a surprise birthday party, and we were living rough. It was real rough. Not proud about it at all. But then, to see where we're at today, and not just where we're at in terms of living and materially, but just where we're at as with our children and all that stuff. I'm a blessed man. I'm truly blessed, and that's why I don't take anything for granted, especially blessings. Okay, so when you guys even when you guys say things like, I really enjoy the show, it does. It means a lot to me. People send in super chats. It means a lot to me. And I'll continue to take the time to acknowledge those and to thank people because it's the right thing to do. Things can change in life. I really want that for Umar. And I'm not saying that my situation a decade ago is like where Umar's at. That's not what I'm saying, because I don't want to overstate it. But I do know that if you can come up with a plan and you work your plan, it has to be a good plan. You work that shit. You really work hard. And then you have faith. That's part of it too. I don't mean to go there, but you got to have faith. Things will change. Things will change for the better. There'll be bumps along the way, but things will change for the better. And I can't even tell you guys how much things have changed for the better for my family over the last decade. And things that I never thought would be possible are possible these days. And I want that for Umar. I want that for all y'all too. Wherever you're at, you may be doing just fine, but it doesn't mean that you can't be doing better. You see, I want the best for everyone, including Umar. But Umar has to humble himself. He really does. But his ego is so huge. And I had to humble myself. I had to say, you ain't shit. You need to get your shit together. And here we are a decade later, and I'm so thankful. And thank you guys too. Thanks for all your support, and thank you for being awesome. You know, the Cook Crush chat, I ain't never seen nothing like it. I ain't seen nothing like it. Okay, let's get to the 20-minute mark on this video, and then we'll close out this live stream. Here we go.
It is a setup. It is a setup. You broke up with a snow bunny because of me? No, you broke up with a snow bunny for you, brother.
He all over the place.
I commend you, my brother. I commend you, my brother. No disrespect to the Snow Bunny Brigade. No disrespect to the Snow Bunny Mafia. No disrespect to the Pel Punani Plantation, but we love our...
See what I mean? This guy, he had, why would anybody want him around some kids? Umar is way too sexual. What did he say to Pel Punani? Who talks like that? What, man, this is nuts.
School meeting by yourself, it is a setup. It is a setup. It is a setup. You broke up with a snow bunny because of me? No, you broke up with a snow bunny for you, brother. I commend you, my brother. I commend you, my brother. No disrespect to the Snow Bunny Brigade. No disrespect to the Snow Bunny Mafia. No disrespect to the Pel Punani Plantation, but we love our women. Is that okay?
Who talks like that? Who talks about? Let me be clear about something. Umar, you don't love any women. You don't. You sexually exploit them. You equate sexual exploitation. Again, Umar's too sexual. Sexual exploitation with love? That ain't love. Love is commitment. Hit the one. See, let me tell y'all something real quick. I apologize. But if you a real man, you know that this ain't it, what Umar talking about. Because what he's talking about is a sexual exploitation of black women. You don't hear Umar talking about a relationship, a long-term relationship, a long-term commitment, building something together, building into the future together, having children, raising children, ups and downs, et cetera, sticking with each other to the good and the bad, sickness and in health. You don't hear him talking about that because that's not what it's about. With Umar, it's about hitting them cookies. Hitting and quitting. A little man jaw on the side, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. See, ain't nothing about this dealing with no commitment and nothing like that.
Okay for us to love our women? We just want to love our women. We not against you. We just want to love our women. No disrespect to the Pel Punani Plantation, but we want them chocolate. No disrespect.
Here he go. Colorism.
We want sweet brown sugar. We want light brown sugar. We want mahogany, cinnamon. We want nutmeg. We want butterscotch. We want warm peanut butter. We want fudge. I love the black woman.
He doesn't love black women. Any of you black women who think that, I don't mean, I ain't gonna do that to y'all. I ain't gonna do y'all like that. But if you think Umar got love for you,
and I'm the only person in the conscious community, the only one, who tells black men they should only date black women.
But you see, Umar is not saying anything about a commitment. See, Umar dating is associated with mating. He said that in the past. Anybody remember that? Dating and mating? See, I don't know what kind of fantasy world Umar lives in. I think it's like Juvenile. It's about getting in them skins. It's about running through women. And the idea of dating, it's not like courting, as they used to call it back in the day, courting. That is not what he's talking about. It's not dating to like go on dates to get to know the woman or any of that stuff. It's the precursor to have sex with them. And then hit it and quit. In the hotel, more conscious stripper. You guys remember all this? What you laughing at, son? We don't do that. We don't live like that, right? Yep. That's right. When you get older, you get you a woman, you're going to commit to that woman and you be a good man, right? Yep. That's right. Amen. Umar don't know nothing about that. Talk about how many black boys I done see. You need to save yourself. What you doing for the black community? What the fuck are you talking about? I ain't never said I was some black leader and I'm the most requested, the King Kong, Coochie. I never said all that. I said that I'm a father to my kids. And if more of us handled that, we wouldn't have, it would be no need for Umar to come in with his shucking and jiving there and talk about he's the savior and he's the Christ, he's the black Christ, he's going to help you with your boys. I don't need you to help me with my kids. That's my job. I said that in the beginning. Then I said earlier to black men, if it's your responsibility to do something, you don't sit around and expect somebody else to do it. That's why I don't get it. What y'all running around Umar's skirt? You think he know how to raise some kids? I can already tell. Listen, I can tell if a man done raised some boys, and I can tell if a boy's been raised by a man. Umar wasn't raised by no man. Well, Lenon, your daddy left. Yeah, you're right about that. But I had uncles. That's right. They didn't play no games. Black men, if you want to do something revolutionary, commit to that woman and raise your family, raise your kids, and shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear nothing else about nothing else. Because that's the real problem. And it ain't the white man and the white supremacy and the sabotage and the city of Wilmington and the cookie crush chats on my ass. They keep clowning me, they keep talking and blah, they just struggle steamers. None of that matters at the end of the day. Be a father to your kids and a husband to your wife. Through the thick and the thin. Good times and bad, sickness and in health. And you will be a blessed man. And then when you die, because we all gonna die, you can die in peace. You can say, I did my part. Was I perfect? No, but I did my best and I did my part. And your kids will be there to cry and you can go on to glory on the tears of your kids. Ain't that a blessing? Amen. Sometimes you got to get to that pain to get to glory. But see, Umar, you're not going to have that. You deadbeat, broke ass bum. So tired of you. Even I'll take a break, come back, you talking crazy and talking reckless. I'm tired of it. And it's the people to black people look at it as a leader. You don't even take care of your kids. I'm going to say it one more time. Umar's daughter is homeless and has been for a while now. I mean, literally living out there and he don't give a shit. But he will say, yeah, black men, you should only date black women. No, what you're saying is that you should only sexually exploit black women because dating ain't shit. It's about the commitment. And that's what men do. We commit to the woman and we commit to our kids.
Nobody else is saying that. Nobody else but me. Consistently.
Listen, Umar, ain't nobody else but you live streaming inside a rental car in the dark, begging for money. Ain't nobody out here but you living in your mama closet. I don't never get old. I don't care. I don't give a shit if it's the washer and dryer room. I don't care. That's a closet, your mama closet. Ain't nobody. Let me stop. We gotta get done. We gotta get done. Here we go.
Brothers and sisters.
What's up, Ed? Captain
Don't go
Ed's
to
in
the school
building.
meetings by yourself. Don't sign the paperwork unless you read it and you agree with it.
What's up? What's up, Ad Avis? Umar Johnson followers, they don't like Ad Avis. Especially over there on Kiko Consciousness. They don't like Ad Avis. Shout out to Ad Avis. Here we go.
Is the Latinos okay?
Here we go.
Afro-Latino? Latino is not a race. What race are the Latinos?
Okay, listen, there are no races. I'm sorry, people. Scientists, they don't even use that terminology anymore. See, I'm gonna say it real quick in 20 seconds or less. If okay, initially it was the black race, it was the brown race, it was the white race, it was the red race, and it was the yellow race. The yellow race was the people from Asia, like in China. The brown race was like Polynesian. The black race was like Africans. The white race was the Europeans, and the red race was the Native Americans. That's scientific. Go look up Blumenbach. These motherfuckers, they didn't know shit. They didn't know shit. They were white European races, but we still hold on to that shit. I apologize. People get mad if you want to, but if race is real, then where's the yellow race these days? It's a social construct. Mainly, well, it's not even just in the United States of America, but how it's been formulated here is very unique. You got in other places, they got into quadroons and octoroons and all this other bullshit. They didn't know nothing about DNA. They didn't have microscopes to be able to look at any of that kind. None of that stuff. But where's the yellow race these days? What about the brown race? Red race? Who's the red race? But somehow we still hold on to the white and the black race. Okay, whatever. Y'all believe what you want to.
Anybody in Africa who is not a descendant of the black African originals, they are invaders, colonizers, and opportunists.
What are you talking about?
When am I getting married?
Here we go.
Announcement coming soon. But you don't need to worry about when I'm getting married.
Here he go. He lying straight up.
Because that's none of your business. One thing I need y'all to do as we transition into this fall and winter season. One thing I want y'all to do as we transition into this fall and winter season, do this for me, for King Kong.
This is going to be difficult. This winter coming up, because winter's coming, it's going to be very difficult for Umar. Maybe the most difficult winter of his life.
Mind your damn business. Too much business is being minded. I look kind of good today, ladies.
There we go with the ADHD.
What's my complexion? Is that dark cinnamon?
There we go, colorism.
Is that cherry wood? What color is the complexion, ladies?
Cherry wood? What are you talking about, cherry wood?
Melanin drip. Melanin is dripping. I look mighty fine today, if I might say. I'm looking mighty King Kong-alicious today, if I might say. Black queens forever. Snow bunnies never. I will be at a college in Texas very soon. I will be at a college in Massachusetts very soon. I will be at a college in Mississippi.
He can't stay on point on anything. Somebody said, I ain't heard that in so long. IMS said, doo-doo bam. Well, that song was horrible. All that music was horrible. She ain't nothing but a hoochie mouth. Hood rat, hoochie mouth. I said, what? That's crazy. All right, let's go.
Very soon.
Oh, that's wow.
Tell your college advisor, vice president of student affairs, they can email me invitations to Prince of Pan Africanism.
Well, we're doing good on time. I thought it was a lot later than this, but we're getting to the 3-hour mark. We're almost done.
At gmail.com. Prince of Pan Africanism at gmail.com. We spell Africa with a K.
Wow, we got 2,000 people here. Wow, after not live streaming for almost a month. Shout out to Google.
I don't care who did not like the fact that I said black people have no business mocking the death of anybody. I'm not mocking the death of my enemy. I'm not mocking the death of my opponent. I'm not mocking the death of a...
Well, he's talking about the guy that got shot. I don't know his name. No disrespect. Rest in peace. But Umar, he tried to spin that into a story as if black people, all these black people were rejoicing in that. But most black people didn't even know who that guy was. Okay, no disrespect. I'm just being real about it. But that's just Umar's way. He's always trying to stir the pot. That's all he does. What's up, last call? Thank you so much for tuning on in. One of the OGs in the building. Yeah, his name is Charlie Kirk. I apologize too. No disrespect. And shout out to Dr. and Mrs. Phoebes too. They've been around for a very long time. When I was really struggling, so I appreciate your presence. Much respect to you. I appreciate you. But Umar, he's a contrarian. Okay, so he what he does is he spins that whole thing to try to use it as a way of disparaging black people, as if there's all these black people out here rejoicing over the death of Charlie Kirk. That's not what I saw. I didn't see overwhelmingly all these black people. But that's what Umar does. He'll spin anything into his own little narrative, and it's either to get money out of people, or and this is an important aspect of how Umar operates. It's to put black people in a subservient position by chastising them, and to make them feel as if they're inferior to him. That's why a lot of Umar's rhetoric, and I'll take notes on this inside for the documentary. In point of fact, there will be a sequence in the documentary. I'll just give examples from each year going back to 2010 of Umar disparaging black people. I mean, he's supposed to be uplifting black people, but most of his talking points about black people, or when he talks at black people, it's negative. And this was just another example. He tried to use the death of Charlie Kirk, the murder of Charlie Kirk, assassination of Charlie Kirk, as an opportunity to chastise black people. And to put black people in a subservient position, as if he's some sort of moral authority. That's the thing about Umar. But that's what cult leaders do too. So they want to put themselves up here, and then they will create false narratives about who they perceive to be under them, and they'll even concoct false narratives about someone's death. That's diabolical, in order to subjugate their own people, the same people they're supposed to be uplifting and liberating. Okay, but that's how cult leaders, they operate the same way. Yeah, shout out to Dr. and Mrs. Phoebes too. It's been a long time. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's wind this down, everyone. We got let me see here, a minute and a half. Here we go.
No bunny hopper. I will never do that, because there's something called.
This is another example, and I apologize for pausing it, but this is another example. You guys remember the video with Umar? He talks about the thugs on the corner, and he says we're gonna have to take back the streets. I know some of us love our children, but some of them, they're no good to no damn body. We're gonna have to put some of them to sleep for good. What he's saying is that black people, that we need to go and murder black people. So who talks like that? You're not even gonna come up with that type of phraseology unless you see black people as being subservient to you, and that's how Umar sees black people. I'm gonna tell y'all something else that's really wild. Umar sees white people as superior. Now that's really, really deep. If you guys listen to Umar when he talks about black people, it's always the worst case scenario, some hood ratchet shit, as if all black people are like that. But that's his way of putting black people as a whole in a subservient position, because he feels as if he's better than that. But really, Umar, real talk, you just a hood rat that didn't grow up in the hood. That's some deep shit right there. Umar's a hood rat that didn't grow up inside the hood. What do I mean by that? Well, understand that when he was shipped off to the military academy, that's privilege. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. He wasn't out there in them streets like that. He was at a boarding school where everything was provided for him. Now, did he have struggles there? Yes. I think he's had some serious struggles there and some serious traumas there too. But this notion that he's from the streets, that's a bunch of bullshit. I told people a long time ago, Umar, he ain't got no street in him. None. Well, Lenon, you don't have no street in you. No, not directly. Because I wasn't in them streets. I was into my music. Had a couple of girlfriends here and there. You know, that's what I was doing. But I was around them streets enough with homies and family members. And so I know what that's about. I got some serious street smarts even to this day. And I'm not the one to be fucked with either. I'm real cool though. I'm real cool, but I'm not the one. Man. Umar, he ain't got it. He just not none of that. So he's a hood rat because he lives like that. And I'm not saying that to I'm just saying using his terminology. He's the hood rat that didn't even grow up in the hood. He wasn't out there in the streets like that. He was a bookworm. He was a goofy, as we used to call him. Okay. Now, I'm a little goofy now, but that's good because I'm 50. We're going to leave it right there. All right. But that's just another example of Umar's rhetoric, very disparaging towards black people. How do you call for the murder of black boys? But you're supposed to be the liberator of black boys? All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to wrap this up right here. Here we go.
The fact that I said black people have no business mocking the death of anybody. I'm not mocking the death of my enemy.
yeah, Black Wolf. I ain't gonna repeat that, but that's what now I know what you're talking about. All right, here we go.
I'm not mocking the death of my opponent. I'm not mocking the death.
No. Let me be clear about this. I was never affiliated with, but I had close family members. I ain't gonna say too much, and I had mainly the cousins. Then I had a gang of friends. They was out there in them streets gangbanging. Okay, that's what we call the gangbangers back in the day. It was mainly East Side poverty. There was another. There was some Crips. I mean, there was some Crips too, but mainly where I went to school it was O'Farrell, and that was in Blood territory off of Skyline. I don't know if it's probably different now. Probably been gentrified by now. But there was another crew out there too. They wore green and they were into money. So they were still putting in work like gangbang and stuff, but they were more into money. It's interesting the cultural dynamics too, because it's not like all gangs are the same. Anyway, all right, here we go.
Of a snow bunny hopper, I will never do that.
Because
there's something called integrity. There's something called character. There's something called morale. There's something called grace. There's something.
Umar, who are you talking about?
Thing called spirituality. I'm not doing it. I don't have to celebrate them. I ain't got to memorialize them. I'm damn sure not going to canonize them and deify them, but
okay.
I'm damn sure not going to mock the death of anybody. And whoever don't like it, you don't like it. One thing you need to understand about me, I don't care.
Yeah. And I said this a long time ago. I said that Umar was one of them ones that would get bullied. I think that's why he has these issues with the thugs on the corner, because he's getting bullied. His dad used to bully him too. I told people this long before Lenon talked about any of all this. I talked about this a long time ago because I could tell. He was what we called a punk. Let me tell y'all something. The gangbangers that I grew up around, there was a respect level. They didn't cause me no problems whatsoever. Well, it helped. I had family members, but the point is that it's Umar. I can tell. That's why I always say he marshmallow. You know, he'll talk big and bad, especially when he talk to women. But you let him be around men, he can't deal like that. Anyway, yeah, I can tell he was bullied. That's why he tried to bully people these days. See, here we go.
Care what you think about me. The reason I'm the #1 black scholar on the planet Earth, the most.
Yeah, I'm from San Diego. I was trying to remember what that gang was. They wore green, and it just came to mind. I just forgot, but they were close to off of Skyline too. But we rarely went up over there because my family were known to be Eastside Pyru. Anyway,
requested on the university campus, the most popular on 7 continents, is I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you think.
He absolutely cares.
I am not mocking the death of anybody.
Oh, you to the super. Hold on a
Period.
second. Oh, here. Okay, I'll get to all the super chats
Black
before we close
parents,
out. I apologize.
the learning disability is a scam.
What's up, Domo? Shout out to Domo.
The learning disability is a scam.
He sent us out a rental car in the
You
dark.
should be very careful
No, it wasn't the Latin Kings. I don't even think they had Latin Kings.
before
I don't think
allowing
they
these
did
public
it.
and charter
At least
schools,
where I grew up around.
Afrocentrics, and
They had a lot of cholos though too. I had cholos homeboys too, because San Diego there's a lot of basically northern Mexico. That's how I look at it. But they was cool with me too. I was cool with them. They was cool. Hey, Wayne, Vato. They used to call me Vato and shit. All right.
included. They thirsty for special ed money just as much as
Yeah,
the
they,
white
I
schools.
remember,
I'ma
yeah, they
say
in
it
Los
again.
Angeles too.
You should be careful before letting these public schools and charter schools, Afrocentric schools included,
Right,
they
gotcha.
just as thirsty for special ed money as everybody else. You should be careful about letting them evaluate your child.
Oh,
the
that's
learning
too
disability.
funny. Cook empanadas.
The learning
Yeah.
disability is nothing but a
No, it's not a trade. What I can't remember the game. They were affiliated with the Bloods, but they wore green, and they were more into more materialism and money and driving fancy cars and shit. But the East Side Piru, there was more hood like, you know. Anyway, I wish I could remember. I can't remember. No, it's not long. I can't remember what they were called. But this was in San Diego.
lazy disability. Your child is lazy, and so are you.
See, here
Your
you go.
child is lazy,
Oh,
and
yeah,
so are
okay.
you. I'm not talking.
I don't know why I couldn't remember it. It's Lincoln Park, and the reason why I should have remembered that is because Lincoln Park is off of Skyline. In fact, every once in a while they would have like an event at Lincoln Park, and maybe once a year we would do a trip from this, because it was like maybe 2 miles down Skyline, but we would get on the bus and go down there because they had a real nice park up over there. You just couldn't be there at certain times, but it was Lincoln Park. Okay, I got you. One of my family members is watching this. That was Lincoln Park. I was like, okay. They say Lincoln Park. What's up, blood? Anyway, those are good old days. We were all innocent, kind of. All right, we finish it up. Here we go.
Talking about the autistic children. I'm not talking about the Down syndrome black babies that we love, those with developmental abnormalities. We're not talking about the deaf and the blind and the brain injured. We're not talking about them. We're talking about black children who don't have a damn thing wrong with them except being lazy, and their parents are letting people label them so they don't have to make them try harder.
Yeah, I forgot about this. So even if you look it up, Lincoln Park gang in San Diego, I'm gonna reach on what AI says. Says yes, there are gangs associated with the Lincoln Park neighborhood in San Diego, as it is a part of the larger Southeast San Diego area, which has a significant number of gang activity. The area is known for experiencing significant violence and having many gangs with the intersection of Euclid Avenue, and Imperial Avenue, often called the Four Corners of Death. I remember that now. Yeah, it was called the Four Corners of Death. I remember that. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, my girlfriend too. My girlfriend, when I was in senior in high school, she lived she lived off of Imperial. Was that it? Yeah, she lived off of Imperial. Yeah, because that was right around the corner from I can't remember that school, because that's the school my mama went there and my dad went there, and then my uncle taught there too. He taught music there for a while, because we used to go up there to after school. I can't remember what that place is called, but it was right down the street from my girlfriend's stayed, because I was basically living with her and her mama. Well, I tell you, well, that's crazy. Anyway, let's go.
See, let me tell you what we're going to do at the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy.
That's crazy.
I saw Negroes celebrating. I saw Negroes laughing at us when they thought the school was going to be sold. I saw you ninjas They was
Umar
on
mad.
YouTube celebrating our demise. They was on YouTube having a block party. Dr. Umar about to lose his schools. What kind of a Negro
Well, here you
will
go. He mad.
laugh at something like that?
No, wait a minute, Umar. This is your fault. Here we go. We're going to finish right here. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to get into Umar going off about losing the school. 20 losing the school in the closet. You're going to lose the school and the mama closet. That's a damn. How you going to lose the school and your mama closet in the same month? We're going to start at the 21-minute mark. I just have to say this. See, Umar, he's been harboring all of this and holding all this inside for weeks now. See, he saw what happened with Lenon. He went off. Okay, he does the bank account scam where he's talking about I hacked this bank account. Why would I hack a bum's bank account? It don't make no sense. If I'm going, I wouldn't do anything like that anyway. It's unethical. But a hacker wouldn't go and hack a bum's bank account, living in mama closet. That don't even make no sense. They're trying to get money, not to put money in it. You be hacking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Just you'll be all dark and shit. I'm in. You look at the balance, negative $4,532. You're paying it now. Oh, fuck. Your money going, the hacker money go into his account to bring it up to zero. That don't even make sense, Umar. First of all, I wouldn't do it even if I could. I just wouldn't do that. But I wouldn't be hacking your account. I wouldn't even waste time. That should take time. I ain't got time like. that's a sound when you get into his account and enter. Umar's face pop up on there. He be laughing and shit. His face pop up with the mask on. You like, oh shit. All right. All right. I've been cutting up too much tonight. We're gonna leave it right there. Okay, tomorrow we're gonna pick it back up. Probably the same time we started today. But I'll be on time. I was trying to get this computer going, but I had to order a whole new webcam. It'll come by the morning, and I'll have it all set up. we'll get to going. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream today. I missed you guys. And like I said earlier, I don't take what we have here for granted at all. It's just I needed some time. And again, I was going to take a couple of days, but it turned into a week, and turned 2 weeks, and turned 3 weeks. And every once in a while, I have to do that just to have a reset. And I can't apologize for it because it was necessary. Because we really this whole year we've been going strong, and then last month was the first month ever where I uploaded or live streamed every single day for that whole month. Never done anything like that. And I needed to take a break. And so I want to thank everyone for your patience, and thank you for being so awesome. The Cookie Crush Chat, definitely undefeated. And I appreciate you guys. You know, I really do. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll pick up where we left off. We'll be at the 21-minute mark, and we'll get right on into it so that we can get through that video tomorrow. Then we have a reset for next week. We'll see what Umar has in store. In fact, let me just say this. He uploaded 2 videos today. So there's a shorter video too. We'll get to that tomorrow. And we'll see what comes out as we move forward. I know Umar was saying something to the effect that he wants to monetize on Instagram. He wants to live stream people to pay for it. Okay, well, he has to do what he has to do. Again, that money's really funny with Umar. But I told people that this was coming down the line, and here we are. Okay. All right. Let me do these other super chats real quick inside the chat room. I did this earlier. Thank you so much. Filthy at 5th. Yeah, I know this is something that you would think that Umar would have resolved by this point. again, I get it if you're a teenager. Even when I was a teenager, I was always cleanly. I try to keep things as clean as possible. But it's amazing that Umar, at the age of 51, he still lives in filth and he doesn't care. I don't think it registers in his mind. I think he's used to that. I think it's reflective of his mind. It's all over the place. One thing you guys can look at is if you look at the paint job on the interior of the small school and the small gym, let's say in 2019, and then you look at how it looks now, that's an accurate representation of Umar's mind. It's just all over the place. And so part of him being all over the place, even with the color schemes, it's an aspect of not having order. Umar doesn't have order in his mind, and he doesn't have order in his life, and as a consequence, he's 51 and living filthy. Yeah. Thank you, Kadar, for the super chat. Rocky the Saki says, as a 41-year-old female with bipolar 1 and ADHD, whose mom also thought I was just being a kid, caused me to have a hard time being a responsible adult. I couldn't do it without my medication. Yeah, that's why Umar, he's dangerous. He really is, and he's done a serious disservice to people. And what's really sad is how it's impacted children. See, if an adult wants to listen to Umar, and let's say they need mental health services, they need medication, and they want to listen to Umar, okay, well, that's an adult. They can consent to that. But it's exceptionally problematic. I mean, that's problematic in itself because Umar, he gives horrible advice, and it's all generalized too. It's not like as if he's talked with anyone specifically for long enough to get an accurate assessment of what they're dealing with and how they. And he's not even qualified to do that. He's never been there. He's never been a therapist, even though he claims to have been. He's never been qualified to be a therapist. Never certified as a therapist. He's never had any license as a no training as a therapist either. He tells people that he's a therapist, but if you guys are going to look up, and he's not a school psychologist. The last time he was back in 2010, 2011. But if you guys are going to look up a school psychologist, they're not classified as being a therapist. Therapy is something separate from school psychology. So Umar gives all this advice, antiquated advice and erroneous advice based upon when he was a school psychologist going all the way back to 2010, 2011. Okay, he hasn't kept current on his certifications. He holds no certifications currently. He holds no licenses currently, none whatsoever. No professional. He's not a professional. The point I want to get to is that what's really, really tragic is that there are parents who listen, Black parents who listen to Umar, and they make decisions about their children as it pertains to their children's mental health, as it pertains to prescriptions, so forth and so on, diagnoses, so forth and so on. And there are Black children who needed psychological services or who need psychological services, professional psychological services, who are not getting that simply because Umar has what his rhetoric has impacted the parents to make certain decisions based upon what Umar says, as opposed to what's in the best interest of their child. There are children who's not getting the type of medication that they need because the parents have listened to Umar's rhetoric and they made decisions based upon Umar's rhetoric as opposed to what's in the best interest of their child. And as a consequence, their children suffer, and their children are suffering today. He's dangerous. Man. Thank you, Rocky the Socket, for the super chat. Rosetta says he needs some medicine. Yeah, Umar, he has his own issues. And I think that's one of the problems with all this, that he has his own issues. And a lot of what he says, he's projecting his own issues. Someone brought this up earlier, Rosetta. They were saying how with Umar, he almost sounds as if he's schizophrenic. Well, I have video where Umar, he's live streaming, he's in the snow, and he's seeing things that aren't there. And then he's hearing things that are not there. Because you see it in the video, you see exactly what's going on, but he's seeing something and he's hearing things too. So he has quite a bit that he's dealing with, and for him to be the one who's giving advice, antiquated and erroneous advice in terms of mental health, that's a problem. That's a serious problem. I mean, well, thanks Rosetta for the super chat. I go on that. Mia sent in a super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wanda also sent in a super sticker. I apologize. The super stickers don't show up. And I've sent them support tickets to StreamYard over and over again. They haven't rectified this, which is crazy because they charge like $45 a month. Before it was like $20 a month. And then they just changed it all of a sudden with, and nothing you can do. Anyway, thank you for the super sticker, Wanda Pope. I appreciate it. Black Wolf says, let's not forget Umar aggressively talking about abusing black boys with caving their chest in, right? Y'all gonna let his abuse your boys? Yeah, this is another thing. Umar's a lot of his rhetoric when he talks about black boys, the physicality of it, a lot of times is violence. And he said that if your boy acts up at his school, they're going to take him to a room in the back. He said he called it the black room, something to that effect. And we're going to pound their damn chests in. Okay, who talks like that in the first place? But that's abuse. That's assault. But that's what Umar said. So you couple that with Umar saying things like, you know, some of them going to sleep for good. And then also Umar saying he wants to cuddle with the boys by the fireside. He also said that he can't wait for the sleepover with the boys so that he can lock them in, black boy lock in, turn the lights out, and play capture the flag. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? So, I mean, it's all abuse. Umar, I said a long time ago, he's an abusive person. He has an abusive personality. Lenon talks about that. And way before Lenon comes out and blew up the spot, I'll talk to people about who Umar has an abusive personality. He's an abuser. The stories that he tells about his baby mamas, where he's talking about, yeah, someone broke the window out and you know, I had to go get a gun and, you know, they put a note on I said, what are you talking about? That sounds like you did that shit. Y'all remember that? Yeah, with this guy, a lot of what he says, it's abusive. And the scenarios that he creates in his own mind, it's about abuse. I remember he did it twice. He told the women, one woman, I could pull it up, where the woman she had got her child diagnosed, and the child was younger. And Umar has this thing that you shouldn't do it at a certain age. It has to be later, blah, blah, blah. He don't know what he's talking about. If black parents, if your children need psychological services and professional help, you go get them the professional help. It's that simple. I know it's not simple, but don't listen to Umar's ass. But she was talking to him, or she was trying to talk to him about that. And Umar says, he stops her and he says, well, can I pull your fingernails out? And you should have seen her face. She was like, anybody remember that hit the one? Who talks like that? But Black Wolf, we can come up with example after example of Umar and you know, the language of abuse. And you don't have the language of the abuse unless you're an abuser. It just doesn't. You don't come up with pulling your fingernails out. You don't come, or some of them going to sleep for good. You just don't think like that. But Umar does, and that's another example of him. He has no business being around children. Period. Okay. Thanks, Black Wolf, and thanks for bringing it up too, because his language is abusive. He's abusive towards black people in general, but when he talks about children, thanks, Black Wolf, or when he talks about women who come out and expose him, he gets very abusive. You guys notice that? Okay, thank you, Black Wolf. A lady says it's a freak off coat for freaky parents. Saying I don't know. I don't. That's from earlier. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know. It's on some other stuff. Real quick, let me see if I could find. I don't even know if I have it archived under fingernails. I'll turn my turn my keyboard off when I was doing all that typing, trying to hack Umar's bum bank account. Let me see if it comes up. Yeah, it's not coming up. Okay. Yeah, but it was a black parent, what he calls a black parent teleconference or whatever. This fly is still messing with me. Okay, I'm just trying to see. Must restore. Yeah, it's not coming up. I have it where Umar was throwing up the middle finger when he was mad. Anyway, okay. Thanks, lady, for the super chat. Okay, let me do the rest of these real quick, and we're gonna be up out of here. Miss Ivy says God had other plans for your life. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's from earlier when I was talking about where I was at like a decade ago compared to where I'm at today, and that's why we have to have faith. And again, I tell people I'm not religious per se, but one of the things that their life has taught me is to be humble enough to recognize that we're not in control of everything. We are responsible for what we are to be responsible for, but we're not in control of everything. This universe and all of the galaxies is far too massive to think that somehow we're in control of everything. I think with Umar, and you got to humble yourself to come to that realization too. You got to really humble yourself. I think what part of Umar's problem is that He's so arrogant, and he lacks humility. And as a consequence, he thinks that he can control everything and everyone. And as a consequence, he's destroyed his life and destroyed the lives of others in the process. And if we look at Umar with what he was given in terms of being in a privileged position to go to that boarding school, although I do think he experienced trauma while he was there, and you look at him being able to pick up allegedly 6 degrees, he should not be in a position that he's in right now, right? He should not be. But he's made certain decisions, and his ego has gotten so far out of control. The narcissism has gotten so far out of control, and he hasn't gotten the psychological and mental health services that he needs. And then on top of that, he has other substance abuse issues and all this other stuff that needs to be resolved. And as a consequence, that's why he finds himself where he's at today. But nothing's going to change in his life for the better until he humbles himself. And when I say humble yourself, it's not just you humbling yourself. It's about recognizing that you're not the Black Christ, Umar. And no, Jesus was not born on your birthday. I'm gonna leave it right there. This guy, he out there talking about Jesus was born on your birthday. You living in your mama's closet, live streaming in rental cars in the dark. Come on. Thanks, Miss Ivy. Giannis says, "Hey, I'm doing a lot better now." Oh, good to hear that, Giannis. Really good to hear that. Yeah, you stay strong and keep doing what you're doing. Okay, thank you for the super chat. Laurie says he can't ever stay on top. Yeah, Umar, he be all over the place. He does. That's again, that's that ADHD. He don't want to deal with it. He says it doesn't exist, and it's at no daddy at home. And remember, his daddy wasn't there consistently. See, but then if it's ain't no daddy there at home, well, wouldn't you have it then? And then what about all the people whose daddy was in the home, but they have ADHD? How does that work, Umar? Anyway, thanks, Laurie, and thanks for being a member for 17 months. Want to sit in another super sticker? Thank you so much. Miranda says, "Amen, Lenon. Parents took bad advice, and I had at least 3 who came crying to me saying they should have listened to me. This is when I found out about Umar." Yeah, that's so sad. That's so sad. I have a video where there's a brother from Chicago, and his wife reached out to Umar and did it behind her husband's back. Now, the thing is that if you're going to be making decisions about your child, it should be a collective effort. You know, and my wife and I, we go back and forth with about this sometimes too. I'm very protective, especially of all my kids, but of my daughters. And you know, it's not that it's a struggle, but there's a give and take even between my wife and I, where okay, we have to give them leeway to do certain things, and they want to go to a concert or a dance or whatever. And that's my wife's perspective. But my thing is all about security and safety. Okay, where are there going to be parents there? You know, who's going to be there? Who's going to be watching them? Okay, do we have phone numbers to where they're going to be? What the household? All that kind of stuff. That's how I'm thinking. And so my wife and I, we kind of balance each other out with this. So decisions like that need to be made about a child should take place between the parents. But in this case, the woman didn't talk to her husband about Umar's advice, and she took Umar's advice, and it caused some serious problems, not only for the child, but also for their relationship. I can pull it up and play it for you. So, matter of fact, Miranda, if you're here tomorrow, or anyone, if you remind me tomorrow, I can pull that up and play it for you guys. And the brother calls in from Chicago to confront Umar, and you should see how just the whole conversation deteriorates. It turns into, I'll just be real about it, it turns into a shit show. And none of it would have gotten there if Umar had not been online giving bad advice to people and presenting himself as if he's some sort of a therapist or he's some sort of a mental health expert. He's not. He never was. He was a school psychologist. There's nothing wrong with being a school psychologist, but he has to make it seem as if he's the greatest psychologist of all time, and that he's a clinician and he's doing all these different things. And, you know, he's diagnosing children, and he still talks like this today. No, he's not doing any of that. You know, it's just a shame. Umar, he really he's damaged a lot of people. It's like a rampage, but he believes that somehow he's doing the right thing. But again, he has a sense that he's the Black Christ. He can't do anything wrong. He's the savior of Black people. And yet his life is in total disarray. And he's not qualified to do anything that he's saying that he's doing. See, even when he says he's a school psychologist, he doesn't have any certifications for that. He's not certified for that. So you have someone running amok in the Black community and using the internet to spew all types of backward. And I'm not saying that everything Umar says is wrong, but what I'm saying is that he's caused a lot of damage because of how he operates. and he tends to try to focus on the single black mothers, or if the woman has a man, or if the woman has a husband, he wants to deal with her, and he did that with Sister Marianne. I only want to deal with you. I don't want to deal with your team. It's just me and you. But that's just, he wants to exploit her. He wants to keep her secluded from everyone else so he can manipulate her, so forth and so on. Well, he has a history of that type of behavior. And so for someone to be able to I'm gonna tell y'all something, for PCOM, they did a big disservice to the black community. I wish I could talk to somebody up in there, high ranking. They did a huge disservice to the black community when they gave Umar that PhD, that PsyD. Huge disservice. Because for Umar to have that, that's what he's weaponized against black people, to get close enough to black people where they feel as if they're subjects to him, they're subservient to him, so that whatever he says they have to listen to. But he don't know shit. And the kids suffer as a consequence. Yeah, if someone reminds me tomorrow, you can just say, can you play the video of the brother from Chicago that called in and went in on Umar? Okay. Thanks, Miranda, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Commission World Inc. says, do you make music still? You're a good musician. Thank you so much. No, I don't really have time. That's something I'd gone to my other bank yesterday, because I hadn't used that account in a long time. And I was talking with the guy at the front. He was like, yeah, well, he was a young guy. What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. I was telling him, I graduated with a degree in cybersecurity and computer technology. And he just had started college, young guy. And then he said, yeah, I used to play music and blah, blah, blah. I got a YouTube page. Oh, yeah, well, I should go check. Young people, yeah, I can go check it. I said, maybe you should. Anyway, and then I said, yeah, I used to be a musician. And my main instrument was the flute. And I've been to Japan and, Germany, and I played as a musician and blah, blah, blah. Then he says, well, do you still play? I said, no, I don't really have time. I got all these kids stuff. But Commission World Inc., I hope that a day will come, if God blesses me in this way, where I can do more music, because it always brought me a lot of peace, especially in my early life. But as you get older, you have to make certain sacrifices, and you got to do what you got to do. But I have all the equipment to do it. In fact, this computer will help out with that too. I was downloading all my sound library. I started today, but it's going to take probably about another 3 days, because it's a lot. It's almost a terabyte of sound. My sound library is massive. Anyway, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. And then Amy P says Lenon is Mr. Robot. No, no, I'm not Mr. Robot. Okay. That is too funny. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know I've been away for a while, but I'm happy to be back. We'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. I'll be on time. I'll have everything all set up. In fact, I'm going to take tomorrow off. I got PTO. I got like 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks of PTO that for this year that I haven't even used. So I'll probably be taking some more time off. And then when we get into the holiday season, I'll be taking some time off. We do some marathons too at that time. So we're going to look forward to that. Thank you, Amy P, for the super chat. Super chat, Mr. Robot. Why? Because I go. All right. Okay. And then Miranda also says, right, I agree with some things he says, but some of that rhetoric is dangerous. I will remind you. Yeah. I just want to be clear about this too. I'm always fair with Umar. I'm not here to tell you that everything that Umar Johnson says is wrong. And I'm not here to say to you guys that everything that Umar Johnson does is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But what I do is I tend to point out the things that Umar has done and is doing that's damaging to the Black community. You guys understand what I'm saying? So yeah, there are some things that I could probably pinpoint. And there's times where he's done things where I acknowledge that and I give him credit for that. But the amount of damage that he's done and continues to do far outweighs any good that he's ever done. And I think that's the trickery of Umar. That's why he's the great deceiver of our time, because he has Black people believing that what he has offered and what he has given to Black people, the goodness far outweighs the wickedness. And I know for a fact that that's not the case. It's the absolute opposite of that. But he spins a narrative. That's why he's a master manipulator. And there's so many Black people who believe in that false narrative to their own detriment, and in some cases to their own children's detriment. And that's a problem. That's a serious problem. Okay, thank you, Miranda, and thank you for saying that. I've always been fair. Matter of fact, tomorrow I will be issuing a I'll just say a public apology tomorrow. And then I'll also put on here the video of the caller from Chicago. There was a father that called Umar because Umar gave some horrible advice and it caused some problems for him, his relationship with his lady, and also for the child. From Chicago. And then we'll finish up with the video that we started today. And we'll do the second video, which is only maybe 2 minutes long. So I don't even know why he even did that. So we'll finish today's video and then we'll finish the second video. And then if he does anything else, maybe I'll take Saturday off too. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I'm not going to do an outro. We're just going to go ahead and close out. Man, for now, I'll do an outro. Let me pull something up. I don't want to be lazy. Okay. Let's go with, how about brother? Let's see if I can find the brother Jose. Let's see if I can find the brother Jose. All right. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Show intros. Here we go. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. Real quick. Did I close out the poll? Let me close the poll out real quick. I thought I closed it out earlier. Maybe I did. Let me see. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. So there's 2,494 votes. The question is, why did Umar Johnson go silent? 58% said he was hiding after lying so much. 11% said he was on vacation in mama closet. 24% said he was being investigated for fraud. And then 7%, only 7% said he was working on FDMG. So let me go ahead and end that poll. Thank you guys. We also had over 1,200 likes during this live stream. So this will kick heavily inside of the algorithm. I want to thank you guys for that as well. Also, thanks to everyone who sent in super chats. If you sent in CashApp or PayPal, thank you for that as well. My CashApp PayPal information listed inside the description of this video. All right. And thanks to the Miles too for handling business. I appreciate you all. And as we always do,
Understand, understand. I need you to understand, overstand, and understand. Brother Jose.
Sí, señor, ¿cómo está?
Peace and love, good brother. You got any time to slide by today?
Sí, tengo 5 minutos.
As soon as possible. How soon can you get here?
15 minutos, 20.
601 East 17th Street, Wilmington.
Okay.
We're right around the corner from the Boys and Girls Club.
Sí, comprende.
601 East 17th Street, Wilmington, Delaware.
Comprende, sí. Can I come now? Why are you sniffing? You sniff time? What's going on? Turn the heat down.
Yes, sir. I need you to look at two things, Brother Jose.
Okay.
The first thing is the HVAC unit on our small gym has to be switched out.
Sí.
The company that produced the existing unit can replicate another unit.
¿Qué?
I just need to find a tech who is able to replace the unit when the new one has completed production.
Okay, no problema.
Which will take about 60 days, the company has told me.
Okay.
So I need you to look at it. Let me know if you can do it and what will the cost be for you to remove this old one, put the new one in. And the new one is going to look identical to the old one, but it's a more modern version.
¿Qué? No comprende.
We're going to buy the unit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's number one. I want you to look at that. Number two
is
on the small school, Brother Jose.
Okay.
We have a roof unit that has to be replaced.
Yeah.
We've already got the new unit produced. It is sitting in storage. But I have not been able to find a tech who can get the permit, block off the street, bring the crane, lift the new unit up on top of the school, tie it all in. So that unit has been sitting. It was delivered on November the 1st.
November?
And it's been sitting there for 3 months, Jose. So,
Tres?
And it's the same unit. All we did was order a replica of what's up there because it was custom made.
Pero no comprende. Don't make no sense, my friend. Okay? You go where you want me to come. I can look. You tell me what you want.
I'm not sure because it went straight to storage, and I'll share with you where that is. But it's supposed to be identical. It's supposed to be identical to the one up there. It is at a crane yard, and I have the address. It's not far from the school.
A crane yard? You say crane yard, huh? you too funny.
Okay.
Huh? Sí, pero tú tengo the
Yes,
money.
sir.
Huh? The money? You have the money? I got ¿cuánto? Tell me how much you pay.
No problem. No problem. I'm here waiting on you. Keep me posted.
How much?
Okay. Thanks, Jose. All right.
Hello?
Thank
Hello?
you.
Hello? All right. Shout out to I got to bring Brother Jose back. Shout out to Cookie Crush Chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Love y'all.
FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. It's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
All right.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, it's coming. FDMG is coming. FDMG is coming. Thought his personality be twerking. It's twerking.
Yeah, Stevie, he's my favorite. We raised our kids on Stevie. Yeah, I got to bring Brother Jose back. I can figure out a way to get him back. He's one of the all-time classic characters. Okay, thank you guys so much. I love you too. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Everyone saw the Cookie Chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today, and thank you for being patient with me as I took that little bit of a hiatus. I have to do that from time to time. Thanks again, everyone. Also, thanks everyone who sent in super chats. Everyone that's supportive of the page and the mods too for having business. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Cookie Crush Chat's undefeated. There's nothing like the Cookie Crush Chat. I missed y'all, and I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all very, very soon. All right, y'all take care. Peace.